ESPN, AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. Joe Reinagle, Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. And boy, the office today does not suck.
No, this is kind of good. You think we could get a permanent office out here maybe? Maybe we could talk to the boss and say if we could just put a studio out here at TPC San Antonio just every day, come out here and do the show?
We could talk to the boss. It won't do us any good.
Won't do us any good?
I mean, look. Some days are better than others. Some days you get studio days, and that, like Michael Jimenez, he was stuck in the studio today and bitching all about it because R&R in the morning. We're out here this morning, and it was probably, 45, 50 degrees when they got started. It's perfect out here right now. According to my phone, it is, as we sit here at TPC, 78 degrees, high today of 80. Cool breeze, not stupid windy like it was yesterday. It is perfect. It is perfect.
And the golfers are enjoying the golf course out there. I will say, though, from this morning to this afternoon, the wind has picked up a little bit for those guys. So, and it's being reflected in the scores. But some low scores out here early on, Jason. And Russell Knox is the leader in the clubhouse right now. Shot 65 exactly.
Who?
Russell Knox. And then second is Rasmus Højgaard.
Yes.
Who actually double bogeyed his last hole to finish with a 66 today. So the one guy that you might recognize is Matt Kuchar. Shot 67 today, 5 under. He's 2 shots off the pace. But the guys in the afternoon find a little bit more difficult than the guys in the morning, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And the guys that we care about, the big-name guys, the ones that everybody's out here to really see, Rory, who literally is about 20 yards behind us right now on the driving range.
I was helping him with his swing earlier.
Is that why he shot even today?
No. He was asking me, and I gave him a pointer or two.
The crazy thing is we got up here. Well, I mean, we've been here for a long time, but where we're set up right now, and if you're coming out to the Valero, Texas Open, we're in a tent with the driving range behind us and the practice putting green in front of us. And so if you're out here, come say hello.
Yeah, please.
I mean, they don't have beer in here, so I don't know what kind of crowd we're going to attract.
Right over there.
But there is a beer stand not far from us. But we got to our setup at about 2:30, and Rory was on the driving range. And Rory is still on the driving range.
Well,
Clearly.
That's why those guys are as good as they are, because obviously he wasn't happy with the way he played today. And it's funny, he shoots even par and he's not happy.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
He's with his coach over there, and they've been going through a few things. And Rory looked a little frustrated at times, especially when I was out there.
Well, you were giving him pointers. Like, dude, do you know who I am?
It's like, dude, get out of here. Get on, kid. But he looked a little frustrated. Every time he'd hit a shot, he'd go back to his coach, and he kind of had his hands. And so there's something that he's trying to figure out that he just can't quite figure out right now. But I'm sure Roy will be around when it's all said and done.
Absolutely. Right now he is tied for 69th. Also tied for 69th is Ricky Fowler, who shot even today. Jordan Spieth on the course right now, he's 1 over through 10, as is Jimmy Walker, 1 over through 10.
So a lot of guys still there. I mean, when you're looking at 7 under leading this thing, and then it's all up and down, 1 over right now is not that bad. You'd like to see either Jimmy or Jordan do something and to close that gap a little bit as they go into round number 2 tomorrow. Still a lot of golf left. I think Jordan Spieth still has 8 or 9 holes left to play. Jimmy Walker with about that many as well. So a lot of golf left to play this afternoon. So you still got time to get out here and watch some great golf. And if nothing else, man, just walk around in the fresh air and the sunshine. It's absolutely perfect out here.
It is beautiful. It is Chamber of Commerce weather out here. The folks that put on the Valero Texas Open, they obviously have been praying for the perfect weather, and they've done everything right in the last year, and they have been rewarded with a spectacular day one, and the weekend looks great. And you think about like some of the festivities that are happening here tonight. The Spasmatics are going to have a post-tournament concert out here tonight. Of course, Saturday night it's Jason Aldean and Darius Rucker. And again, if you're one of those church types, well, you can still come see some good country music and come on out here and enjoy Jason Aldean on Saturday night. But they also have fireworks going up tonight.
They do have fireworks going off tonight after the Spasmatics concert, I think. So once it gets good and dark, and they were a little worried about the wind because it was so blustery yesterday.
Yeah.
They were concerned about it today, but it has just turned out perfect. Now, it has picked up a little bit since we arrived here about 1 o'clock noon or so, whatever time we got here, Jason.
Look, your hair is not moved. It's not that windy.
No, it's not that bad. It's got to get really windy. It's got to be hurricane force for that stuff to move.
I remember one time when you were still in the TV world, you had to go cover a hurricane.
I did.
And you're the only guy that's covered a hurricane without having to wear a hat. And even in a hurricane, your hair did not move.
Well, that's right. And that's how they determine the wind speed. Bill Taylor would always tell me if it moves, it's got to be 65 or over. So we know it's not really a hurricane. It's still just a tropical storm. But no, that was fun covering that hurricane.
Yeah, fun for sure.
It was.
It is the Blitz. Of course, you can be a part of the show on the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 on Twitter, at Joe Reinagle 210. You can tweet at me at Jason Minix. Things going on the show today. We will give away Taste of the Northside tickets. We've had a lot of fun with stories. Edwin Hafner, a great producer, loves that segment. So we're going to do a version of that a little bit later on in the show. You can tell he's dying with anticipation to juggle all the calls and the sad stories and get us that information. So you want to win tickets to a Taste of the Northside, which is a week from today, next Thursday. Be listening a little bit later on in the show. Our good friend, John McClain of the Houston Chronicle, who joins us every Thursday at 5:30, and he will today at 5:30. But John McClain, column this morning in the Houston Chronicle, announces his retirement after 47 years with the Chronicle, over 50 years as a sports writer. The memories, the stories this man can tell. He's hanging up the newspaper business on his own terms, which in San Antonio, if you're old enough, you remember the great late Dan Cook.
Absolutely.
Who obviously Joe Reinagle, followed at Ken's 5. And, the Express News for years and years. You think about Blackie Sherrod from the Dallas Morning News, some of those great old-time columnists. And that is where John McClain, he's in that world, right? He announces his retirement today, and the headline in the Houston Chronicle this morning, a legend calls it a career. And what a perfect headline. Now, John will join us today, and he's going to continue to join us. He's going to continue to tweet. So if you follow him on Twitter, you're going to get the grumpy old man tweets, but you're going to get the tweets as he sees it. And, he said if the Chronicle needs him for something, he's available for freelance for a small fee. But he's still going to do us every week. He's still going to join us every week in the other radio shows. He does 6 across the country on a weekly basis. And he's still going to do that, maintain his Hall of Fame voting status and all those kind of things.
Congratulations to the general, because, man, what a career. And you talk about one of those guys that you mentioned, Dan Cook and Blackie and those guys. They're on another level when it comes to newspaper coverage and sports reporting. And certainly John McClain is up into that group as well. And so just thrilled to be able to still be able to talk to that guy. And, when you look at that, if you're a John McClain fan, which there are thousands of, you were probably pretty sad today. Fortunately for us, we had a chance to process that a day or two before, because he gave us a little bit of a heads up it was coming.
Well, and it's interesting because he's talked about it for a while, and I don't know, and we'll ask him why now, because he is going out on his terms. And in the media business, as you know, Joe, from the TV side of things, you don't often get that. You've got to be a certain level to be able to go out on your own terms. You just recently did that from the television side over at Ken's. John McClain has decided now is the time for him with the Houston Chronicle. This station is 14 years old. I don't know. He's probably been coming on 12, 13 years every week. We don't pay him a dime. He just does it. And I love talking to the man. And even if I don't care what he's doing, there are certain guys that you just want to hear stories from. You know, some of those great old timers that are just fun to sit and talk to. So I'm thrilled that he still wants to do that, and honored that he's been a part of this program basically from the beginning. And quite honestly, I was very surprised and humbled to read my name and the thank yous in his column today, because I certainly didn't expect that.
That's awesome, and you should be proud of that, because that's quite an achievement when a guy like that is thanking you personally, and I think that's awesome. So congratulations to you on that. But yeah, I'm just happy that he's going to continue to join us, because he's one of those guys that is so plugged in, especially in the city of Houston, but he's plugged in everywhere. So it really doesn't matter what the topic is. Obviously, we rely on him a lot when it comes to the Texans and the Astros and stuff that's happening there in Houston, but you can ask the guy anything, and he knows it.
He knows it, and he's plugged in on everything. And while that was, like you said, we had a bit of a heads up that was coming today, it was a surprise to many, and many in the business based on reaction on social media, because I think it was kind of like, even those that knew he was thinking about retirement, you figure that guy was going to slump over and be dead while writing a story, right? I mean, he's, that's just the way John McClain is. So for a lot of people, that was a surprise. Now, there was another major surprise resignation in the sports world that came out last night. Bruce Arians, he's done with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as their head coach. He's going to move into their front office, again, going out on his own terms, and that's kind of what he talked about. Named his successor already. Clearly in the organization that had to be known for a while, but man, that just seems kind of odd, the timing of it, especially knowing you're getting Tom Brady back.
Well, I think the timing of it is genius. I really do. The way this has all worked out, and from what we've read and heard as to why he did that at this particular time, and I think it was Tom Brady who actually did him a favor. Now, whether they had that planned or not, or that was in the works, and maybe Arians said, hey, Tom, give it another go because this is what I want to do, I'm not sure, but it worked out perfectly for not only the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but for Todd Bowles, who is now the head coach of the Bucs, and Bruce Arians, who just was ready to get out of the day-to-day grind of being a head football coach. But the reason, Jason, that he did it this way was so they didn't have to go through the entire hiring process and bring in a bunch of candidates, which Arians called a complete waste of time. They knew who they wanted. Bowles was the guy. That's who Arians wanted. So it's a little bit of a loophole in the NFL hierarchy, I guess, our hiring process. So if you do it after the league year starts, well, you can't have interviews for head coaches. Now, you can name an interim head coach, but you can't do the whole hiring process.
Well, so what's interesting, and according to Mike Florio at Pro Football Talk, the loophole, the twist, one that hasn't been applied in the 20 years of the Rooney Rule, according to the NFL, the Rooney Rule does not apply after March 1st because coaching staffs essentially become locked on March 1st, the beginning of the new league year. So the Buccaneers couldn't conduct a real coaching search. The fact that they hired a minority, does that get them off the hook in some ways if you were asking questions about the Rooney Rule, but also handpicked? But Bruce Arians, also on public record, unhappy that his two coordinators didn't get a head coaching job this year, and so he hands the baton, and off we go.
Well, he and Todd Bowles have worked together, and they've been friends for a long time. And so that was the guy that he wanted in there. Now, Byron Leftwich was another guy that he felt like should have gotten a head coaching opportunity this offseason and didn't get that. What's interesting to me, though, Jason, with this age of social media, immediately when this news came out that Arians was going to resign, it was Tom Brady's fault because they were fighting, and there's this infighting between Brady and Arians, and obviously Brady didn't want Arians as the head coach anymore. And it's just absolutely not true. And I just find it funny how we go to this. There's got to be some sort of a conflict between two guys, or something's got to be wrong for this to happen. And to me, Arians was a genius. This was a genius move on his part.
Perfect. It was. I mean, the timing of it, because they did everything above board, and they hired the coach they wanted without going through a ridiculous process when you already know who you want to hire. Now, and quite frankly, if they would have hired a white coach, it would be the same reaction right now. Maybe the reaction would be a little bit different, but the rules would apply that the Rooney Rule doesn't apply right now because it's after March 1st. So it got me to thinking, Jerry Jones, we all know he's going to hire Sean Payton, right? Or Dan Quinn. So does he let Mike McCarthy twist in the wind until March 1st next year, right? Think about that. And after March 1st, he could just plug in a Sean Payton or plug in a Dan Quinn, not have to go interview somebody to satisfy a rule, knowing damn well who's going to get the job.
Well, I think the politics of it, though, Jason, is what the deal is. Unfortunately, there are politics involved in this. Now, look, the NFL has to still sign off on this because it's public knowledge that they've offered Bowles a 5-year extension. He had 2 years left on his D.C. job, but they've extended his contract for 5 years as the head coach. Now, the NFL still has to sign off on this. And so the thought process is the Bucs already went to the NFL and said, this is what we want to do, sign off on it. And the thought process is they're going to. Jerry Jones does that, and he says, I want to hire Sean Payton or Dan Quinn. Politics-wise, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, it may not go over as well.
Well, here's the thing. It's going to get approved. Roger Goodell is not going to go, no, you can't hire that guy. And the backlash of you just had a team promote a person of color to be the head coach, and now you're going to say no? No, because the rule is what it is. Now, when Jerry does it for Sean Payton, Roger Goodell might be mad, but it's within the rules, and then they'll go and change the rules. They're like overtime.
But the way I understand it, and again, the way I read this, so the NFL could say no.
According to the NFL, the Rooney Rule doesn't apply after March 1st.
Right, but you can't have the interview process. You can name an interim head coach.
Yes.
You cannot name him a permanent head coach at that point in time. Now, maybe you have to, after the season's over, then you can, but then you would fall back into the Rooney Rule where you've got to go and interview everybody.
And again, what with Tampa Bay hiring a minority coach to be the head coach, this isn't going to be an issue.
That's what I'm saying. The politics comes out, and that's unfortunate.
If Jerry does this next year with Sean Payton, because what's going to happen next year is Mike McCarthy gets fired, unless, of course, they win the Super Bowl. But Mike McCarthy, hell, he might get fired even if they do win the Super Bowl. I mean, they didn't even let him go to the owners' meetings, or the league meetings. But what I'm saying, though, is if Jerry does this and goes through the process, kind of like what they did when they hired Mike McCarthy, they interviewed 2 guys. But it certainly seems all along they knew who they wanted to hire, but they go through the process to satisfy the Rooney Rule, which that bothers me on more levels than, if this is who you know you're going to get, and everybody in the world knows it's going to be Sean Payton or Dan Quinn, one of those 2 guys, then to go through the dog and pony show just doesn't seem to make sense to me. That's more insulting.
I totally agree with you, and that's the flaw in the Rooney Rule. And now it seems like and I'm not sure if this is for head coach or not, or if it's just front office. Now you have to interview a woman as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it is. It's a complete dog and pony show, and that is the flaw in the Rooney Rule. You're just interviewing people sometimes just to interview them. And you're right. If I'm a head coach of color and you call me and you're going to interview me for the head coaching position of the Dallas Cowboys, and I know damn good and well you have no intention of hiring me, I'm going to say no. Why go through all that when it's just all you're doing is trying to fill a number? And I'm not going to help you do that. I agree with you totally. To me, that is more insulting than not hiring me just because.
And that's why Brian Flores is now suing the NFL, because Bill Belichick texted the wrong Brian in his phone congratulating Brian on getting the job with the New York Giants. Thought he was texting Brian Daboll. Instead, he was texting Brian Flores. And Brian Flores hadn't even interviewed yet. It was on the schedule for, 2 days from when Belichick congratulated him on the job.
Exactly. And it's nothing,
but they had to do that to satisfy the Rooney Rule.
And instead of doing something to fix the Rooney Rule, they've just doubled down on it.
Mm-hmm.
And something needs to be done. Look, diversity, we can have that argument all day long, and I'm willing to have that argument and happy to do it. But there's got to be a better way to do it than to just have imaginary interviews that simply mean nothing. And to me, again, are more insulting than not getting hired or the Cowboys would name a team hiring a white head coach instead of a coach of color.
And when I look at it, for some coaches that have never interviewed for a head coaching job, I appreciate those that will say they get that experience to interview for a job like that, to go through the process when you're trying to do something like that, because that is a different process.
Yeah.
You certainly understand that. That's, that is part of it as you're getting elevated and you're meeting with other teams and stuff like that. Even if there's not a chance in hell you're going to get that job, you would still at least get that experience. But you can only go through 4 or 5 or 6 of those. It's very similar to what Becky Hammon was doing at the NBA level, that, when she would talk about it, the experience of going through those various interviews for head coaching jobs and eventually becoming a finalist, at least for the Portland job, was educational for her. She talked about that. But at some point, don't you go into the interview thinking you've got a fair shot at actually knocking the socks off of those people and getting the job, as opposed to, let's go through a charade here. This is a good experience. I learned something from this one. I learned something from that one. You get better at the interview process, the weird questions you get. But at some point, I want to interview for a job where I've got a realistic chance of getting it.
Yeah, when I walk through that door and sit down in front of that owner or that general manager, I want to feel like I've got an opportunity to get this job, and I'm going to tell you how I can help this football team win. I don't just want to be there so you can check a box and satisfy the NFL's Rooney Rule, and then go off and hire somebody else that you wanted to hire altogether. So that to me, that's a big flaw in the Rooney Rule. It looks good on paper. It looks good that you have to interview these folks and you have to do this. But if you have no intention of ever hiring them, then it's a huge flaw in the Rooney Rule.
The spirit of the rule is genuine.
Yes.
The execution of the rule has proven to be very, very flawed.
I agree with you.
It's the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. We are live at the Valero Texas Open. We're here till 7 o'clock tonight. We're going to be here tomorrow as well. So will Rob and Rudy in the morning. So if you're coming out here, they've got us set up near the driving range, a tent with the driving range behind us, the practice green in front of us. You can find us. I would say look for the restrooms, but they got porta potties all over the place. And there is one close enough for Joe Reinagel, which is proven to be good news in the hour that we've been here. He's visited twice. I mean, I think there's 12 inside of that 10. I have a feeling before 7, he will visit all 12 of them. Or do you go to a favorite and just go?
Well, if that one's open,
okay,
I go to a favorite.
You go to a favorite, like you've been there, you're going back to that one?
Yeah, I mean, that one is, fairly clean and ready to go.
These are, well, I mean, I went into to one. They were some of the cleanest porta potties you can go into that are open to the public. Sometimes they have us in a non-public access area, and you get the Royal Flush, those trailers. Those are spectacular.
Those are outstanding. I could live in those.
But for actual porta potties, those were extremely clean.
Not bad. And you know what else I like? As long as we're talking porta potties, they got the sink there where you can wash your hands.
Yeah.
So that's nice. There's no paper towels in there.
No, but beggars can't be choosers. There's soap and water. And that water was stupid cold, too. I was a little surprised how cold that water was.
You got to pump that thing.
Yes, you do, with your foot. Have you never done that before?
No,
I mean, my man's out here wearing a golf shirt from the Dominion. Yeah, you're not used to porta potty life, Reinagel. Welcome to the rest of us, our world.
I'm perfectly fine with porta potties. I have no problem with them. As a matter of fact, I've been in some that are pretty nasty.
Well, I see those, and I can't help but flash back. A few years ago, we were out here at the Texas Open on the weekend, a friend of mine, and I wish I could remember his name, but my buddy John Robbins, his friend, it was one of those nights with the concert afterwards, and his friend disappeared for like 4 or 5 hours, and we couldn't find him anywhere. And we kept calling him and kept calling him and kept calling him, and we couldn't find him. We kind of figured, he's a good-looking dude, that he must have met somebody and just left. And we were having a good time out here, and we walked over near where the stage area was, found the porta potties, and John was like, I got to keep calling him. I don't want to leave if he's here. And then finally, John's calling him, hear his phone ring, and the dude passed out drunk in the porta potty.
You got to be pretty drunk to do that.
Yeah, but they were clean, and that's what he kept saying. If I was gonna pass out in a porta potty, this is the one to do it in. You don't want to do that at Oyster Bake next week.
No,
or
you
this
don't.
weekend.
You don't. I will give them credit here. The folks at the Valero Texas Open, they extremely clean porta potties. They do a great job at it. This place, Jason, has expanded. Like it's incredible the way this thing. It's like a little city out here, and a lot of things to do. It's a lot of fun out here. You need to make plans to get out here this weekend at some point in time.
Absolutely. And again, we're here till 7 tonight, back here tomorrow as well. It is a Thursday. That means we will do What's on Tap, brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint, coming up at 5:45. If you have an event this weekend, if you've got a gig happening this weekend, you want people to know about it, tweet us that info at Joe Reinagle 210. You can tweet at me at Jason Minix. And you think about your plans for the weekend. None of you plan on getting arrested, but some of you will. It's Fiesta time. You get yourself arrested. You want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, offer a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
A big name signing in the NFL today. We'll talk about that right after this Sports Center update. It is round one of the Valero Texas Open. They are still out there playing, but we've got a couple of clubhouse leaders. One of them is Russell Knox, who knocked the socks off of things today, shooting a 65, 7 under par. He's got a one-shot lead over Rasmus Højgaard, who double bogeyed his last hole to shoot 66 at 6 under par. Matt Kuchar is in third place right now, tied with Denny McCarthy. Both of those guys are at -5. Some of the bigger names, Ricky Fowler, Rory McIlroy, all at even par today. Bryson DeChambeau won over par today, 73. You've got Jimmy Walker and Jordan Spieth still out on the golf course. Both of those guys are at 1 over par. San Antonio Spurs fell to Memphis last night in a thriller. Keldon Johnson missed a shot. They dropped back to 11. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Joe Reinagle.
Here at Total Wine & More, you'll find what you love and love what you find.
I'm looking for a whiskey that will blow my buddies away.
This single barrel bourbon is a surefire hit.
Oh, yeah. Whoa, did you hear that? I feel like a rock star.
Well, finding this bottle at that price, you totally are. Find what you love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Pickup and delivery available at TotalWine.com. Drink responsibly. B21.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish is...
It's pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said, now we speak Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Great news from Rocket Mortgage. You could unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash-out refinance today. In fact, in the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. That means you could unlock thousands of dollars. And with Rocket Mortgage, you could unlock all that cash in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up, because nobody knows how long these low rates will last. Put your hard-earned money to work. Make your life better. Build a home office. Remodel your kitchen. Or simply save that cash for a rainy day. Today's rate on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.25%, 3.48% APR, so you can lock in a great low monthly payment. When you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. That's 833-8ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com. Rocket. Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
If you have a small business, Staples has your sign.
Banners for my bakery?
Staples has your sign.
Oh, posters for my new pet store.
Floor decals for a pharmacy.
Every day, Staples associates help every kind of small business create bold signs to make big impressions. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. This is your sign, so print it big at Staples. Ends 5/28. Visit staplesconnect.com/thisisyoursign for details.
Get ready, boxing fans. King Rye is here. Coming April 9th, live at the Alamo Dome. Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions presents the return of the undefeated King Rye, Ryan Garcia. He's a perfect 21-0 with thunder in both hands and 18 big knockouts. But a rugged Emmanuel Tuggo with 32 wins stands in his way. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. April 9th, the Alamo Dome. King Rye is here.
When the intense pain caused retired Braves pitcher Jose Alvarez to literally drop a glass, he knew it was time to find help for relief. That's when he turned to QC Kinetics.
I just got this excruciating pain in my elbow. I couldn't hold it. It had become a very difficult thing just to do the normal things that you do in life.
QC Kinetics treats that chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulder, back, and elbows with non-surgical regenerative treatments. Your body actually helps heal itself. No surgery or downtime. A treatment elite athletes have been using for years.
It's not new to the athletic world. It's available out there for the non-athlete as well as the athletes.
As for Jose,
and I've noticed an incredible amount of relief. The pain has subsided, and it's going to continue to get better.
Now you can experience the same life-changing treatment at QC Kinetics here. Call for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318.
Second it takes. The Blitz with Joe Reinagle and Jason Minix. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix, live out here at the Valero Texas Open on a spectacular Thursday afternoon.
Some work days are just better than others, are they not? I mean, I can't even imagine coming to work at a place like this every day, especially with the way the weather is. It is absolutely perfect out here. The golf is good, and well, life is just good right now.
Life is good. And you think about, let's see, today we're out here. Tomorrow we're out here at the Texas Open.
Right.
Monday we'll be at the Roo Pub.
Nice.
Which get you ready for the national championship game. North Carolina will be playing on Monday night.
Duke and Villanova will be playing.
Sure. Next Thursday we're at Taste of the Northside.
Nice.
April 15th, some people call that tax day. I call that good eating day. We're going to be live out at Tri-County Meat Market.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, speaking of, we'll give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market at 6 o'clock today. Grilling with the Blitz. Haven't even looked yet to see submissions. So upload your photos of what's on your grill to sasportstar.com for your chance to win. We'll do Grilling with the Blitz coming up at 6 o'clock. The Spurs last night, man, they lost a tough one. I got to admit, I didn't see any of the game. I was at a comedy show last night at LOL. And yes, every comedian brought up Will Smith.
I'm sure they did.
Every comedian brought up Will Smith and Chris Rock, which was entertaining. Some had better takes than others, but, they haven't had a whole lot of time to work on their material. But it was a good night. And a buddy of mine that lives in Memphis shoots me a text, says, "You should have had us." And I'm looking at it going, the hell's Ruben texting me for? Oh, yeah, they're playing the Grizzlies. And then I saw the final shot. My goodness, they should have had it.
Yeah, they should have, and that's tough because, boy, it was just a bunny for Keldon, although he was defended.
And fouled.
Well, yeah, the first half, again, we've talked about the Spurs team being inconsistent. And they weren't so good in that first half. Second half, they played much, much better and came back and had an opportunity to win that basketball game. But unfortunately, it's one of those things with a young team. You've got to be patient with them. They're going to learn these things, and more games that they play, the better opportunities to learn. And last night was a great learning experience.
Yeah, sure. But I don't know if I'm more mad, manufacturing mad. I'm manufacturing mad.
Yeah, that's it.
At what Greg Popovich said after the game.
Yeah, I was really proud of them. They just have to understand, the mental part of the game, the physicality, and both the execution and making mistakes, and then the physical nature of the competitiveness that's required. And so the difference in the first and second halves the differences were pretty obvious. So we played with grunt, take no prisoners sort of attitude. Great stuff in the second half. Took care of the ball better, executed better. DJ set a hell of a screen to get JR the three at the end. Executed the last play very well. It didn't go in. And like I told them, if that's the worst thing that ever happens in your life, you can live a pretty easy life.
You can't say that, Greg Popovich. I got to manufacture anger here. What the hell are you saying?
That sounds like Tony Romo.
It was exactly what Tony Romo said. In a day that you can remember like yesterday, the Cowboys got their ass kicked by the Philadelphia Eagles in a playoff game, 44-6. And dude went on the podium and said, "This is the worst thing that ever happened to me. I've lived a pretty good life." And he got hammered. And you know what? You're right, Tony. You are right. You are absolutely right. If that is the worst thing that's ever happened to you, you've lived a pretty good life. But you know what you don't say after you get beat 44-6 in a playoff game? That.
You don't say that.
You don't say that.
Because there are Cowboy fans that can't think of anything worse at the moment.
At the moment. And look, none of us knew at the time that his mom might have had or been going through some, cancer. And he's 100% right. Losing a game, if that's the worst thing that ever happens in your life, you're a pro athlete making millions. Yeah, there are worse days, right? If that's the worst thing, man, you just can't say that after a loss. You just can't say that as a coach, as a player. As true as it is, your fans don't want to hear that. Your fans, "Oh, well, we tried. Here's your blue ribbon." F you, man. I can't deal with that. I just hate that phrasing after an athletic event.
Jason, you're being really selfish. Very selfish. Now, can you imagine how bad Keldon Johnson felt? And how much
he should.
And how much better he felt when Pop wrapped his arms around him and said, Keldon, if that's the worst thing that ever happens to you, you're going to be okay. And
did Pop take him for ice cream after?
He looked up at Pop and said, "Thank you, Pop. Yeah. You're right.
Let's go to Baskin Robbins and get a banana split and think about it."
That's exactly right. That Pop was saying that for Keldon and Keldon alone. But I'm sure Keldon felt bad because, let's face it, my goodness, he should have made that shot.
He should have made that shot. And he was fouled on that shot. Have you seen the last 2-minute report?
I haven't.
Does the NBA agree with me?
I'm sure they do, because I hate that. Stop that with the 2-minute report, because it's the most ridiculous thing ever. We screwed up. Sorry, guys. You should have won the game, but we screwed up. Too bad. I hate it. Just don't let that out, please.
It is what it is. It might make you feel a little bit better.
No, it doesn't. It makes me feel worse.
Are you manufacturing anger?
No, but it's like, screw you. You should have won.
Yeah,
but we messed up. So, and here it is in print.
But it's transparency. Yeah, we admitted we're wrong.
So what?
How many times can you admit you're wrong before bad things happen? Right? Like, whether it's at your job and your boss or at home with your wife, how many times can you admit doing something wrong in writing before bad things happen to you? Either you get the pink slip or the divorce papers.
Yeah, but this doesn't happen in the NBA world.
I know.
These officials can screw up 100 million times and admit it, and they're going to be okay. Look, I'm all for I love the human element of pro sports, or any sports for that matter. So officials have a very difficult job. They do, and they're going to make mistakes because they're human, and it just happens that way. But I don't need to see a 2-minute report or the last 2-minute report saying, we screwed up, and other than that, you would have won the game. However, we screwed up, so stick it up your behind and let's move on.
You know why they only give us the last 2-minute report? Because if they gave us the report for everything they did wrong throughout the entire game, it would take those guys 3 days to finish it.
It would.
I mean, it really would. But all you got to remember, no matter how many blown calls that there were in that particular game, even if they miss a call.
Executed the last play very well. It didn't go in. And like I told them, if that's the worst thing that ever happens in your life, you can live a pretty easy life.
You miss a call, you've lived a pretty good life.
Good life.
It's not bad. It's just don't say
life
that.
is good.
Just don't say that.
Okay, don't say that.
And you know what? It's true. Do you ever have a moment in your glorious athletic career in Alice, Texas, where you blew it?
Many times,
right? I mean, I remember one time, believe it or not, I was a varsity soccer player. Shootout, penalty kick, could have won the game, and I kicked the thing over. But it would have been a field goal in football, but missed everything. I felt horrible. If my coach, Hagen Streckel, would have walked over and said, that's the worst thing that ever happens to you, you've lived a pretty good life, then we would have gone down to W.C. Frank's and got an ice cream cone, I was so mad. There's nothing you could say at that point, but don't say that. I don't want to hear from Tony Romo. I don't want to hear from Greg Popovich.
Well, Greg Popovich, and we'd have to ask Keldon Johnson if it made him feel better or not. I'm not sure that it did. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. But that's what he was trying to do, was make Keldon feel better. Because obviously Keldon felt like crap after missing that shot that he should have made.
And I'm glad to know that, because that tells me he cares. And
exactly.
If you're a team tank guy, Michael Jimenez, you could see by last night's game this team is trying to win and devastated when they lost when they should have won. And by the way, Keldon, I hope you feel bad today for missing that bunny, because now the Spurs are on the outside looking in until Utah beats the Lakers tonight. Then we'll be back in the 10th spot.
Well, here's the bad news for the Spurs is that LeBron and AD are expected back for the game against New Orleans in Los Angeles on Friday. So my point there is you better hope Utah wins tonight, and then the Spurs better take care of business against a horrible Portland team this weekend. Because if they don't, they will find themselves on the outside looking in, which I know a lot of Spurs fans want to happen. But it looks like the Lakers are going to try to make a run at it and put their big studs back in the ballgame.
Who do you think feels worse last night for bad play? The Keldon Johnson, or did you watch any of that Phoenix game last night?
I did not.
Phoenix Golden State?
No.
I can't remember the kid's name. But there's like 5 seconds left. Phoenix goes up, and he's from Golden State, gets near half court. There's 4 seconds left, and he fires up a 3 from half court because they thought he was going to get fouled, so it'd be a shooting foul. And they didn't foul him. And, of course, he missed everything. What the hell were you thinking other than, let me draw a foul here? But they weren't close enough. It was one of the more boneheaded plays that will be on tomorrow's SportsCenter, not top 10. I can promise you that.
Well, there's been a lot of boneheaded plays in professional sports over the years, and certainly that's one. That's just one of those things where you're just not thinking.
Yeah.
You're not. You're overthinking the game, right? You think you're going to get fouled. Why would you foul a guy who's at half court when the odds of making that shot are like, what, I don't know, 5%?
Well, when he pulled up, I was like, you're watching, of all people, Richard Jefferson was doing the color analyst work on the broadcast and was like, I'm not sure. He must have thought he was going to get fouled. I totally was trying to defend the player rather than just blowing him up, because it was dumb. Because, again, unless you're getting fouled right there, you don't pull up and shoot from there.
No, you have to be fouled.
I couldn't. Or he had no idea how much time was on the clock. If he thought it was at the buzzer, literally at the buzzer, maybe. But just a bizarre play.
Crazy play. You know, and you mentioned it, that coaches back in our day, and I'm a hair older than you, but, you know.
A decade.
Yeah, something like that. But, I mean.
More there.
When you made a mistake back then, I'll know, real quick, I had a football coach in Alice. His name was Coach Hudson. And I will never forget this dude because he had a nose about as long as Pinocchio.
Oh, here we go.
And he would grab me by the face mask and turn my head.
Sure.
And stick that nose in the helmet.
Really?
And spit.
Yeah.
Yelling at me.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah.
You can't get away with that today.
No, in my day. Yeah, back in my day.
Back in my day.
Copper Cove High School. Hal Mummy was my football coach.
Oh, wow.
For the first couple of years. Yeah, Copper Cove.
That?
Hal Mummy was our football coach, and of all people, Billy Gillespie was our basketball coach for a year.
How about that?
At Copper Cove. We hired Billy Gillespie at Copper Cove because, you know, our athletics team sucked, but our drill team was pretty good, the Copperettes. And
the Copperettes.
Billy's wife at the time was the dance teacher at Ellison High School, where he was,
all right,
which is Colleen Ellison, the Ellison Eagles.
Yeah.
So we hired her to be the dance team instructor, but for her to take the job, Billy had to get the head basketball coach job. So that's how he got that basketball job.
Hey, whatever works.
And before that, I think he left there to go to New Braunfels Canyon. He had ties up in New Braunfels. Billy Clyde did. But back to the story of stuff you can't do away now. And Hal Mummy was our neighbor on Manning Drive. So me and my brother, we used to mow his lawn every week, but we would be playing street football. All the stuff you're seeing now with Air Raid, we were doing that in the street on Manning Drive in Coppers Cove. But we used to do bear crawls across the band parking lot in August. Your hands would be all blistered up.
Yes.
The stupid salt pills.
Yep.
And 2 water breaks an hour with a hose hooked up to a PVC pipe that had, holes drilled into it.
That's it. I mean, we're not that much different when it comes to that. I'll never forget those salt tablet dispensers.
Yeah.
In the locker room where you had to grab one of those and take them. And it was horrible. Make your stomach upset.
A lot of things make your stomach upset.
Well, that's true.
I mean, some things haven't changed for Joe in, 50 years.
Well, I mean, sitting here next to you kind of upsets my stomach sometimes.
I understand. I have that effect on people.
Yeah, you do.
It's the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, live out here at the Valero Texas Open. We're here till 7 o'clock. The NFL, or not the NFL, but there are odds out on win totals for the NFL season. You're going to be surprised at what Vegas thinks the Cowboys are going to accomplish next season. We'll get into that coming up just after 5 o'clock.
Yeah, but first of all, I want to tell you about my good friends at Stevens Roofing, Jason, because these folks are incredible. They're a family-owned company. They've been here in San Antonio for a long time, and they're not going anywhere. They're going to be here for a long time. They're not one of those fly-by-night companies you see when you have a hailstorm or a big storm rolls into town and you need some roofing repairs. They fly in, they take your money, and then they leave. That's not Stevens Roofing. In fact, they're licensed by the city of San Antonio, and these guys can do it all. No matter what your job entails, they're going to be able to take care of it. A commercial job, they got you. Residential job, they got you. Metal, composition, they're going to give you free estimates. They do have financing available if you need that. And here's the best part. If you do have a claim, they're going to work with your insurance company. I love that because I don't want to deal with the insurance company. Let Stevens Roofing do that. They're going to do the work, then they're going to guarantee that work in writing, and they will stand behind their work. So here's the number you need to call, 210-785-0994, or you can get a hold of them at stevensroofing.net. One thing's for sure, do not forget, Stevens Roofing is your local roofer.
It's Major League Baseball, and it's back. April 7th is opening day. Catch every hit.
A 3-run Jimmy Jack.
Every pitch.
Swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the mid of Trevino.
Diamond action happens on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
When it comes to getting work done on your property, get the power, comfort, and quality you need by choosing Kubota compact construction equipment, like excavators, skid loaders, and track loaders. At Ewald Kubota, we have all the equipment you need, whether you're buying or renting. And we know you need the reliable, dependable equipment Kubota is known for. Right now, all new rental customers get 10% off their first rental. This is our way of saying welcome to your neighborhood Ewald Kubota dealership. For more information, visit ewaldkubota.com.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Howdy, San Antonio. Chip Ingram from the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, inviting you to come out and enjoy patio season. We have newly remodeled patios, garage doors, and everything else you need to enjoy this great South Texas weather. As always, ice cold beer and specialty drinks. Happy hours daily from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And our kitchen is open from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. See you soon at the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road.
After months of playing, college basketball has determined the top 4 teams, and the final 2 rounds will crown this year's champion. BetOnline.net is your #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. From all the latest odds, contests, and player props, you name it. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline.net is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action. BetOnline.net's where the game starts.
The CFOs that get it, get it. The CFOs that don't. Behold the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer. This isn't some bean counter. Today's CFO is critical to the strategy, growth, and profitability of the business. But in growing companies, there are 2 kinds of CFOs. One who's struggling to keep up with spreadsheets everywhere, manual processes, errors, and lack of visibility into the numbers. It takes weeks to close the books. And one who's on top of their game. Automated reports, inventory, e-commerce, and HR flow into the financial model seamlessly. Insights coming with the click of a button. This CFO uses NetSuite by Oracle with visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. NetSuite is everything you need to grow all in one place. That's why NetSuite is the #1 cloud financial system used by over 29,000 growing businesses. Like I said, the CFOs that get it, get it. The CFOs that don't. Head to netsuite.com/radar for a special one-of-a-kind financing offer. netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
So yeah, I used the savings from switching to Progressive 50 years ago to finally buy my dream car. It's a self-driving flying car, but we just say self-flying now. You know, because it's the future, and cars fly in the future.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
This spring, we're feeling bold new colors and a natural glow. Find it all during 21 Days of Beauty happening now at Ulta Beauty. Discover daily beauty steals at 50% off the must-haves from brands like Anastasia Beverly Hills and Tarte. And discover the hottest new arrivals like, drumroll please, Fenty Beauty, now at Ulta Beauty. Beauty's biggest event ends April 2nd. Shop in-store, online, or try curbside pickup today. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful.
The NCAA tournament started with 68 teams.
You can feel the madness!
After a handful of upsets and some buzzer beaters, we've landed here. The Final Four in the Big Easy and the national championship game happens here. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Hey guys, it's Rudy J. Let's talk the biggest stories in sports tomorrow morning, 7 till 10 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
It's the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. We are live out at the Valero, Texas Open. We're just looking at the leaderboard. Jordan Spieth had a birdie, and it's amazing what one shot can do for you when it comes to the leaderboard.
22 spots he climbs the leaderboard. He was at 89. He was +1 on the day. Birdie's a par 5, I think, was number 14. Sends him up to number 67. So things can move pretty quickly when you're talking about this. And, you know, even par, you might say, well, he's 7 shots back, but it's only day 1. You know, that still puts you within shouting distance. The problem for Jordan Spieth Jason, and it's not just Spieth, it's any returning champion. You've got all the stuff you've got to do on top of getting ready for the golf tournament that, there's a lot of distractions. So that's why you don't see a lot of repeat champions at any golf tournament, much less the Valero Texas Open.
And again, if you're coming out here, whether it's today or tomorrow, of course, tonight you've got the Spasmatics concert following the round, and then you've got the fireworks display and all that fun stuff. If you're out here tomorrow, we are set up by the driving range in a tent. The driving range is behind us, and then you got the putting green in front of us, although we're in a tent. And we got TVs in here. We have everything but beer, although there is a beer tent right over yonder.
You think Greg Shelton would run over there and grab a bunch of beer?
No. Greg Shelton isn't walking an extra step. That isn't required. I mean, are you kidding? Grumpy Greg Shelton? He was here just after, 6 o'clock this morning? Before 6 or after? Before 6, he wants to tell you.
Wow.
Who knows what time he actually clocked in.
Was that a minute before?
He was at work at 5, he says.
And he's got to do it again tomorrow.
But you know where he's not? In the office.
That's true.
And that's all that matters for Greg Shelton. But, we are a pretty good clip from the parking lot.
Yes, we are.
And he has and it's uphill both ways. And he's got a lot more equipment to haul, although it's on wheels. I got to admit, when we were walking over here, I was hoping one of those golf carts would stop by and say, "Need a ride?"
Yeah, they didn't.
They didn't.
Well, it's a little ways over here. It wasn't as far as I thought it was, so it wasn't too bad. But, we're out here. It's a beautiful day. We're in a good spot. In fact, we got to see some of the pros practicing after their round. Rory McIlroy was behind us earlier today, trying to improve on his game. He shot even par out here today, so he's 7 shots back. But I don't know, man. It's just fun being out here, Jason. It really is. The weather's beautiful, nice breeze. It's comfortable, and it's a great place to be on a Thursday afternoon.
Well, and it's a lot different than when you would be out here during your TV days.
Oh, no question.
And apparently a lot safer.
Ha! That's true.
Don Harris damn near died out here yesterday, according to his photographer, Jack Green. They were setting up to do a live shot near 18 over by the media center. And according to Jack, they're setting up for the live shot, and some guy hit a shot and completely just screwed up his shot. And it went whizzing by where they were standing. Unbeknownst to Don Harris, who has somebody looking out for him, he had bent down to get something out of his bag. And while he was just bent down getting something out of his bag, that ball went right to where his head was. Jack Green didn't have enough time to go, duck, because where they were set up, they weren't expecting a ball to be in that area.
Right.
I mean, the dude just shanked it. And Don gets whatever out of his bag, and Jack was like, "You all right?" Like what? Don was clueless that he was this close to death. Now, by the time Don starts telling the story, it will be a little bit different, but, you didn't realize how dangerous that TV work can be.
Well, Don's father is a preacher.
Yes.
And his brother is a preacher.
Yes.
So he's got a lot of help there spiritually.
He does.
And so that must have come into play yesterday for sure. But, it was funny to hear Jack and tell that story. It's kind of interesting out here, seeing all these photographers. And Jason Eggleston was out here, my Ken's photographer at one time, and Vinny Vincetta out here doing live shots. So I wouldn't just be sitting here. I'd be standing in the sun right now doing a live shot, Jason. So I'm happy to be here.
Well, working hard.
I know it.
Working hard. It's the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market, grilling with the Blitz. And this is going to be a big weekend for our friends at Tri-County Meat Market as they celebrate the 10th anniversary of their Fair Oaks location, which was in the first location. They've got 2 now, the one in Fair Oaks and, of course, the location over on Hebner Road. And both locations this weekend for their 10th anniversary, 20% off your entire purchase, both locations on Saturday and Sunday. Now, on Saturday at Fair Oaks location, starting at noon, they're going to be having some demonstrations in the parking lot there with free samples and cooking demonstrations from our friends at Gulf Coast Smoke and Wholesome Meats. And you know, when you get into Tri-County Meat Market, they have everything you need for your weekend grilling. They've got the beef, the chicken, the pork, the fajitas, the poppers. So they've got so much over there. Their normal pick 5 for $25. But again, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, both locations, everything 20% off your entire purchase. So make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market on Ralph Fair Road and on Huebner, or online at tricountymeat.com.
Halftime with Michael Jimenez.
You know, I've been asking, are there fans of this band, Coheed and Cambria? And if there are, I want to give you a pair of tickets. And we have Alfred on line 1.
Well, see, Jimenez is the type of guy I feel like he thinks East Coast is too hard.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I feel like Jimenez is the guy.
I love this guy.
You wouldn't use a porta potty out of context.
Grab lunch with Michael Jimenez on Halftime. Weekdays at noon. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the next generation of drivers, where titanium ends and the carbon age begins. Introducing the new Stealth Carbon Wood driver from TaylorMade, with 60 layers of carbon twist face technology designed for better energy transfer and faster ball speeds. Come into Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops is home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, or shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home, and the men who use PTO to catch afternoon basketball in March with the boys. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
How do you make the most of your land? If you ask the Wrens, who run with us on a John Deere mower, they tell you,
I mow first, then I do all the trimming.
But the Hubbards, who work behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, would say,
if it's something you want, just go after it and try it.
Then there's the Mosers, who may mention from the seat of their John Deere Gator UTV,
you can't be all work and not play.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Hello, Connecticut. May I help you?
This is Bill Tyson. Is this my Connecticut Pro?
Yes, Mr. Tyson. What can I do for you?
Calling from Yellowstone National Park.
Mm-hmm.
Old Faithful just erupted and reminded me I didn't set the vacation bypass in my Connecticut water conditioner. Would you run over to my house and set it? I've hidden the key under my door, man.
Well,
I forgot to set the bypass last year. I had that other brand, and the software used up 4,000 pounds of salt in a week.
Mr. Tyson, relax. With your new Connecticut, there is no vacation cycle or any worries about salt. If you don't use any water, your Connecticut won't either. We not only believe in saving salt, but also in saving water.
Would you go over and unplug it then? I'm trying to conserve electricity.
You forget that your Connecticut doesn't use electricity either. There's nothing to plug in. And don't forget that your Connecticut is also completely automatic.
I mean, I can relax and enjoy my whole vacation?
That's right.
This is great. I've got Old Faithful here at Yellowstone and an Old Faithful in my Connecticut water conditioner at home.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Connecticut. SA.com.
Live, local, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. Joe Reinagle, Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagle 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. Edwin Hafner producing today. He's Twitterless. Greg Shelton, our on-site engineer, also Twitterless. And apparently not pushing buttons.
Who's that?
Reinagle.
Oh, it was perfect.
That was perfect.
It was perfect. Came right in right when I'm supposed to come in. How about that? I mean, why come in earlier than you should and just sit there? Where it's perfect. You hit that button, it's time to talk, and here we go. Now, answer me something really quick before we do anything else. Shams, how do you say his last name?
Charania.
Yeah. Tweets out right now, says that San Antonio Spurs icon Monty Ginobili is going to be a first ballot induction into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2022, sources tell The Atlantic. Wasn't that already decided, or did I miss something?
I thought it was already.
I thought it was already decided.
I thought it was. Is that a new tweet, or was it retweeted from years ago?
Well, it says March 31st, 2022 at 3:01 p.m. So I'm assuming that's today.
Well, was he just named the finalist last time then?
Perhaps that was the case, and I just misunderstood. But either way.
Well, there's no doubt the guy was going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I know there's a decades-long argument, it feels like, with Manu. But the reality is, based on the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame standards, it's not the NBA Hall of Fame. He would have been a Hall of Famer on his international resume alone if he never played a minute in the NBA. And for the life of me, I don't understand why people want to argue that. But when you look at his international resume, he would be a Hall of Famer. Then you add in what he's done at the NBA level, he's a Hall of Famer. And so for him to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, there is no surprise there.
I guess I just assumed when I saw, and maybe you're right, he was just a finalist, because I don't think that would have been tweeted out the way it was if it was already decided. But obviously, congratulations. We all kind of figured that was going to happen, and well deserved. And I mean, my goodness, the thing about Manu Ginobili, and I think anyone who is a basketball fan will agree with me, he is such a unique talent that there hasn't been one like him before, and I doubt there's going to be one like him in the future. He is just one of those guys that is just one of a kind, unique, and we always talk about unicorns, and we throw that out, but this guy truly is a unicorn.
He truly is a unicorn. Now, speaking of, because you know how good Shams is, ESPN has announced multi-year extensions for both Shefty and Woj. Those guys aren't going anywhere.
Well, of course not.
I mean, but just saying.
Well, good for them.
You know,
ESPN, did they win the lottery or something? I mean, all of a sudden, they're throwing out big money everywhere.
Disney stock is good, man.
It must be.
I mean, parks are back open. Let's pay everybody.
Yeah, that's right. I guess so. But, man, with the Troy Aikman, Joe Buck thing, and now these guys that are kind of throwing money around, so that's
the
good.
addition of Joe Reinagel with us,
maybe
and Rudy J. I mean, it's life is good.
I forgot about those two guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's understandable. But speaking of contracts, and this is the dumb side of stuff. Antonio Brown says he won't get surgery on that ankle that was so damaged until after he signs with a new team.
Dude, I wouldn't touch that guy with a 10-foot pole if I'm a GM of a football team.
Yeah.
I would not touch him with a 10-foot pole. I love Antonio Brown, big fan of what he did in Pittsburgh, but I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. Why would you want that headache on your football team?
I can't imagine wanting that headache, although, like I've said, for so many players, he can help you win games. He's a hell of a talent. He's a hell of a headache, and that's why so many teams are willing to take him in. But hard to imagine with what we saw in his exit in Tampa Bay or with Tampa Bay. And now this, dude, go get yourself fixed. You're going to get a job regardless, but the longer you wait, the more time you're going to have to miss, especially if your ankle was so damaged the way you claimed and put your MRI results on social media for everybody to see. And I'm not getting it until I'm on somebody else's insurance plan. I don't know who's advising him.
I would have gotten it done already. I mean, can you imagine if he'd have done it right when he ran off the field against I think it was the Jets that day.
Yeah, it was the Jets that day.
So, why not run straight to the surgeon, get that thing taken care of, and you're ready to roll right now in your OTAs.
If I'm a GM, that shows me commitment.
Well,
in readiness and willingness.
I tell you what, he still has the moves, that's for sure, because the way he danced off the field on his last game, it was incredible. But I wouldn't touch the guy. I'm sorry. I just think there are other guys out there that can help you win, that I don't need the headache of Antonio Brown.
Speaking of headaches and injuries, Anthony Davis is expected to return Friday after missing the last 6 weeks. He was not going to play tonight against Utah. Neither is LeBron. Mm-hmm. They go home. Maybe LeBron's able to play because, he went back to L.A. to get that extra treatment on his ankle as they are trying to make their push, and they're showing every sign that even though they've got the toughest schedule down the stretch, they're showing every sign the Lakers are that they are doing what they can to make that play-in tournament.
I'm really surprised at that, to be totally honest with you. And that must just be from a competitive standpoint with guys like LeBron James and Anthony Davis, that they would even entertain that. I mean, I honestly would not have been surprised if the Lakers would have come out today or tomorrow and said, you know what, LeBron is out for the remainder of the season. Anthony Davis is out for the remainder of the season. But the fact that these two guys are going to come back, that shows a lot. And it shows a lot about the competitiveness of these players, which is why that whole tanking argument to begin with is so stupid.
Well, and you look at it, and that is so very true. But at the same time, this isn't the year for the Lakers to get the lottery because they don't have a first-round pick.
Well, I guess there's that. Although if they want to work a deal with the Spurs, maybe they could get a first-round pick.
They could. But
Spurs have 3 of them to deal.
Again, they've got New Orleans tomorrow night.
Right.
They expect to get Anthony Davis back, hope to get LeBron back for that game coming up tomorrow night. We'll see what ultimately happens. It's the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM, live out here at the Valero Texas Open. If you want to be a part of the show, anything we're talking about, easy to do on the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776, or on Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210. You can tweet at me at Jason Minix. The General, John McClain, will join us in about 20 minutes at 5:30 on a day that he announces his retirement from the Houston Chronicle after 47 years and over 50 years as a sports writer in the great state of Texas, where Dave Campbell gave him his first job out of college at Baylor. Dave Campbell, Texas Football Magazine, that Dave Campbell.
That's incredible. John McClain is incredible. What an incredible career that he's had. And he's one of those guys. I had the rare opportunity of being able to sit in an office and listen to stories from the legend Dan Cook.
Mm-hmm.
And you would just sit there amazed at the things that he used to do, the places he went, the stories he could tell. John McClain is one of those guys the same way. I would love to sit down with John McClain, open up a couple of cold beers, and just let him talk. I would just be quiet for as long as it takes to let him tell stories.
A story time with John McClain has always been incredible. And while he has announced his retirement from the Chronicle, he's still going to join us every Thursday here on the Blitz, as he's done for the last 13 years. Before the show today, Joe Reinagle, going through Instagram, saw some news footage from an incredible scene today.
Yeah.
And you and I both have the utmost respect for firefighters in general. But there was a scene today, a fire off Culebra, where I'm not sure what it was, came crashing down on some firefighters.
Like
it was like a staircase or a balcony or whatever it was. And this dude had this staircase land on him. The staircase, by the way, is burning. It looked like something out of a Bruce Willis movie. And we'll get into Bruce Willis and his retirement. And this guy, like Bruce Willis in a movie, on fire, kind of walks over, turns around, and his teammates spray him down, put the fire out, then he goes back into action.
Right back to work.
Those guys are incredible.
Yep.
It could have been a very, very bad day for our San Antonio Fire Department. But those guys are pros, and San Antonio Fire Chief Charles Hood calling in now. Chief, what's it like for you when you get a call or see the video like what we all saw?
Well, it was, as you mentioned, we were very blessed today because this could have been a tragedy of 3 families that would be affected for the rest of their lives. So we're extremely fortunate, but I happened to be at the fire and I happened to hear the stairwell collapse. And so what you saw was a crew that was going in trying to make sure we had a quick search on that first floor. When we got there, the fire was really rolling already. And so they were exiting and the stairwell to the second floor, it collapsed. And so that easily, 5 feet more to the right, it could have taken those guys' heads off. And so, we're blessed, and we face these things every single day, but a lot of times it's just not captured on on video like you saw today.
Chief, I've got to ask you a question because I'm watching that video, and it's just incredible, the bravery, the commitment, and the attitude that your firefighters have. I know they're highly trained, and so they don't panic when something like that happens, but this guy just seemed like it was just another day at the office. What is that like? I can't even imagine.
Chief, it was another day at the office. It's a day that ends in Y.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was just another day, and so I hope I have some firefighters out there or first responders that are sports fans. I know they're probably listening, but we just came through COVID, and so these same firefighters that were dodging flames today, they were the same ones that were doing vaccinations and COVID testing for the last 2 years. So I commend them for all the things that they do because most of what we do is EMS. But then you get the fire every once in a while, and our fires are up for the citizens that are listening. Our fires are up about 26% right now from last year, and we've had 10 fire fatalities this fiscal year. So we are really experiencing a lot of fire. So we need your help. If those of you that are listening to be aware of what's going on because we have a lot of challenges right now.
All right, Chief, you mentioned, fires are up, and that seems like a really high percentage. Do we have an understanding or a reason as to why fires seem to be up to that level?
Well, Jason, what we've noticed with the fire fatalities in particular, they're usually people that are older, smokers, space heaters, although we're getting into a warmer time now, but overloaded electrical sockets. And then another huge one for us is hoarding. And so all of us know somebody, or we're related to somebody that has a whole bunch of stuff, and they can't get their car in the garage, and all their bedrooms are full of stuff in the hallways. We have seen fatalities in this population too. It makes it very difficult for them to get out. It creates a larger fuel load for us to fight, and then we can't get in. But we have seen people die in the city because they hoard. Another thing is smoke detectors. If you need one, they can call 311. But we're really going to be putting out a push starting next week on all of these things. But, to our listeners, everyone knows someone that's a senior or a neighbor or something. And so we really need to be proactive in trying to protect this community.
Chief, I've noticed it seems like, I don't know, maybe it's just a rash that has happened here lately, but it seems like a lot of apartment buildings have been catching on fire. Why would that be? And am I right about that?
Yeah, Joe, you are. We get a lot of apartment fires, and a lot of times it's someone cooking. Sometimes it's just carelessness with smoking materials, or sometimes there's, something suspicious in nature that happens. And when it does, it affects, multiple families. Sometimes 20, 30, 40 people at one time are displaced and they lose everything they have. And so it's really important when people rent apartments that they get apartment insurance, because your apartment may burn and you didn't do anything wrong. And so we have been experiencing a lot of those. And so, we're working with those communities of apartments also to bring out awareness.
San Antonio Fire Chief Charles Hood calling into the Blitz, and it's always an honor. And I know a lot of your firefighters are listeners of this program and this radio station in general. I know you are. A lot of times you'll text me when you disagree with me, which happens to be very, maybe a little too frequently. But
I understand that, Chief.
But that's understandable. Well, so I've got a kid that graduated from Arizona State, and he's a UA guy. So, I mean, it kind of goes that route. But I think about what I saw today and the respect that I've always had for firefighters. And I remember in the Navy, we all go through, in the Navy, they call it damage control training, but just a very little bit of firefighter training. I can't imagine what your guys deal with on a day in and day out basis. And the reason, like you're calling in today, the fire that was over on Culebra Road, can you take us through what happened, what caused it? I mean, obviously, if you're showing up at a fire, the scene must be pretty bad. Whatever you heard on the radio says, I've got to get out there for that one. Describe what happened today.
Okay, so, and I'll take you from my perspective. So I'm sitting in the barbershop, and the phone rings from dispatch, and it's a second alarm. But normally our fires grow because we're going to get an alert that there's a building on fire, a house on fire, and then it starts escalating. So you kind of have an idea something was happening. But this one happened all of a sudden, and there was no other notification. So we had a fire engine 35, dispatched on a dumpster fire. There were multiple dumpsters that were burning in this apartment complex. So already something suspicious. And then they look over, and they've got a 2-story apartment complex building on fire. So they called for a second alarm. So we were overwhelmed from the beginning because the fire had already accelerated by the time everybody got there. But, we were able to do the things we needed to do quickly and do a search and make sure everybody was evacuated. And so that's when you saw those guys on that first floor. So we're going to learn from this because we're always talking about collapse zones and how we could prevent injuries. And so this is a near miss for us. So if you don't learn and practice and train from events like this, then you're never going to be of the caliber of a department that we are. And so, we'll take this and learn from it. But again, that's what happened. And it happened really, really quick. And that's the crazy thing about this profession, because things could happen at a bat of an eye.
Chief, do you ever get a chance to sit down and get a leisurely haircut or a dinner or anything without worried about that radio going off?
He's talking to us right now with half a haircut. I mean, think about that.
Hey, you know what, though? My barber was done, man. I didn't walk out looking like, like a reverse Kid and Play or something. But no, I was good. And, but yeah, you do relax. And so sports is what we relax with. And so, we try to do that as much as we can because we just know that at some point in time there's going to be some craziness, but this is what we choose to do, and this is our calling. So, I and everybody that do what we do, we're blessed. And we're very fortunate to do that.
And today, certainly blessed. So suspicious activity or a suspicious fire, do we know what caused it yet?
No, you know what? And the media is reporting, and we report there was a person of interest with this. So, and I don't know how far that's gone as far as them locating or anything like that. But there was a person of interest that we alerted when I alerted the press this morning. So that's about all I know at this time. But again, it wasn't a natural cause fire. We know that for sure.
Yeah, well, those people, man. There's a certain place for those people, no doubt. Well, Chief Hood, we've been friends for a long time. I always appreciate the support you've shown this show and this radio station. You know how much I appreciate what you guys do there at the San Antonio Fire Department. I think about, even Ryan Angle a couple of years ago when he was just doing TV only back in the day. He and I emceed that police department versus fire department softball game a couple years ago, which was a lot of fun. So anything you need from us, man, you just let us know, man. We're there for you.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys, Chief.
Hey, thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe.
Appreciate it. Chief Fire Chief Charles Hood joining us here. You see this video tonight on the news, or you see it on social media.
Incredible.
It looks like something out of a movie. It looks like something you would see on Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
I mean, it was scary as hell. And that firefighter, and I know it's just another day, and so maybe this happens all the time, but that firefighter, that thing falls on him. He's now on fire. And he's calm, cool, turns around, spray me down, and let's go back to work.
Yeah, the other guy's there with the water hose, sprays him down, and it's just right back to work. There's no time off.
Just incredible. And again, no time off because that fire was still going.
Yeah.
And two things, you think about the correlation with sports and what those guys do. He knew his teammates needed him. If he were to go, oh, man, I got to go sit down and, whatever, they're down a man.
That's it.
They can't be down a man. He knows that. And the way his teammates were helping him. I mean, just an incredible video today from my perspective of just the bravery that those guys show day in and day out.
You know, it gives you a true perspective, Jason. That was a great way to put it, of real teamwork. And we talk about that all the time, talking about sports, but when you put it on that level where those guys are teammates and each one of them has a job to do, and they have to do their job so the other guys are successful. And so it's amazing to see what we saw today, and I don't think we give those guys enough thanks and praise as we should. And certainly today, man, my hat is off to all of those guys.
And I think Chief Hood probably said it best. Today, there was great video of it. We get to see it.
Yeah.
Those guys do that every day, 24 hours a day. And I did not realize that fires were up 26% in San Antonio.
Incredible.
And the reasons he gave, it is. And again, preventable.
Stuff you don't think about. Being a hoarder? I would have never thought of that.
Well, I mean, I've been to your house. You're not a hoarder.
Well, I'm not, but I'm just saying.
But
I know a lot of people that are, though.
Well, absolutely. And, you know, it's kind of like, throw this stuff away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, if you haven't seen it in a couple of years, you probably don't need it.
True.
You know what I mean?
If you moved 10 years ago and you haven't unpacked that box,
exactly,
get rid of it.
You don't need it.
Get rid of it at that point. I mean, it's so true. And like I said, pretty scary when you think about it and put it in that kind of perspective.
Yep, no doubt.
Certainly appreciate Chief Hood on what's clearly been an extremely busy day.
Appreciate him calling
in and, you know, giving us some insight there.
Yeah.
Because, again, we know a lot of firefighters that listen to the show. And if you see firefighters out, you know, when that truck pulls into whatever fast food restaurant and they're eating, hook them up.
Yeah.
Do something nice for those guys. John McClain, the General, joins us next here on the Blitz. If you're shopping for a new vehicle, go see my friends at Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex. Easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a longtime Ancira customer, and it's because of their great customer service before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. And that great customer service is why Ancira has been a great family-run dealership in San Antonio for decades. They're going to make sure you're getting the vehicle you want with the options and features that you're looking for. They'll give you great value on your trade-in, the best rebates and financing options that are available. And you know price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
He is a true legend, and today he called it quits. We'll talk to John McClain right after the Sports Center update. Of course, we're out at the Valero Texas Open today, and they are still on the golf course. A lot of the golfers are. In fact, Jordan Spieth, the defending champion, he's still out there. Through 16 holes, Jordan is even par on the day. He just made birdie on number 14. Even par on the day for Jordan Spieth. But it's Russell Knox who has your lead right now at -7, shot a 65 today. Then you've got Rasmus Højgaard, who came double bogeyed his last hole to shoot 600 par 66 today. And Matt Kuchar, one shot behind, he fires a 5 under par round of 67. A lot else going on in the world of sports, including the Spurs, who, boy, they let one get away last night. They fell to the Memphis Grizzlies, and now they are back in the 11th spot in the West. I'm Joe Reinigle for San Antonio Sports Star.
Get ready, boxing fans. King Rai is here. Coming April 9th, live at the Alamo Dome. Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions present the return of the undefeated King Rai, Ryan Garcia. He's a perfect 21-0 with thunder in both hands and 18 big knockouts. But a rugged Emmanuel Tuggo with 32 wins stands in his way. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. April 9th, the Alamo Dome. King Rai is here.
Golfers, tee it up this year at Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the hottest new arrivals from Callaway. Featuring the new Rogue ST drivers, Callaway's most stable driver ever, with tungsten speed cartridge, jailbreak speed frame, and AI flash face. Engineered for max speed and forgiveness. 4 different models to fit every golfer's needs. Think speed? Go Rogue. Swing by Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit for the new Rogue ST drivers today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Yeah! Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Hi, it's Rudy J. I'm here with my lawyer, Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm. Jason, as I'm riding around the city, I notice your nice billboards. They look good, but
I have a couple out there trying to keep up with the competition, I guess.
They look good. Now, I get in a car accident. Am I going to be talking to you? I don't want to talk to some guy that works for you. I want to talk to the guy that's on the billboard.
No, I know. And you know that you talk to me, but
Yes.
and you have, you and I have been friends for a long time, and I've represented you for a long time. But that relationship that you and I have is the relationship I have with a lot of my clients. And I think you're recognizing something that I don't know if everybody knows, that the face on the billboard for that firm might not be the lawyer that you actually get to talk to. That's not true with me, as you know.
Right.
If you call 900-0400, my office number, and you have a question about your case, you're going to talk to me. I'm the lawyer on the billboard, but I'm the lawyer that will handle your case.
Call 210-900-0400, 210-900-0400, or a lawyerforus.com.
Thank you, Rudy.
You can unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash-out refinance today. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. And with Rocket Mortgage, you can unlock thousands in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up. So when you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 833-8-ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started.
Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org. Over 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but heavens to Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is The Blitz with Joe Reinagle and Jason Minix. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. You know, those of you that have lived in San Antonio long enough, you remember reading Dan Cook every day in the San Antonio Express News and watching him on Channel 5 that night. Joe Reinagle is the one that followed Dan Cook at Channel 5 and had that seat for 25 years before he announced his retirement earlier this year to come do radio full time. And I think about growing up, reading Dan, reading Blackie and the Blackie Sherrod in the Dallas Morning News, John McClain in the Houston Chronicle, knowing that this is what I wanted to do and how honored it's been to create relationships with so many of those guys. I worked at Channel 5 in the mid-'90s. Got to know Dan Cook very well, loved hearing those stories. I know you heard all those stories. And today, the headline in the Houston Chronicle, a legend moves on. John McClain, who's been coming on this show about this time for, 12, 13 years now. We just turned 14, announced his retirement. John, congratulations. What has today been like for you?
Well, Jason, ordinarily most columns I write, when I turn them in, like, say, Wednesday, they'll be posted online at TexasSportsNation.com immediately, and then I'll run in the paper the next day. And my boss decided to wait and put it out online at like 6 this morning, and then it would be in the morning editions. And my cell phone started going off, and when I got up about 7:30, I had over 130 texts. I've been trying to reply to texts and emails, and people congratulate me locally around the country. It's just been overwhelming. And I've got a Friday mailbag that I'm working on tonight. It's my last I'll do for the Chronicle tomorrow, and it'll be posted online in the morning. And then I have a Sunday column I'm writing about greatest memories. And because there's no space limitations in cyberspace, I'm just going to let it rip. And then the boss will figure out how many he wants to use actually in the Sunday paper. But I've been because I've known I was going to do this since July, and I've been jotting down names and stories. Like the column I wrote today, it had so many names in it, thanking people who've made an impression and an impact on my life. And you're in there. And
I was surprised to see my name in there, honestly, John. Thank you.
And then I realized, you know, I didn't want to think about it. The ones I left out, I apologized early and late for leaving people out. And because after this much time, it's my 51st year in the business, 47th year at the Chronicle, and I'm keeping all my radio shows. And thank you guys very much for letting me keep on. I'll still be keeping up with everything, tweeting. I've got my shows here. I'll be covering the Texans and Astros, and I'll be doing some freelance for the Chronicle when they need me. You never know what else is going to come up down the line. So after I do my last show tonight, it's off at 6:30. My plan is to take a nap, and then I figure tonight people will stop texting me congratulations. So I'll spend several hours, probably to about 2 o'clock, still getting back to people. And the thing that's worrisome, my computer is going to shut down any minute. I had to buy my first laptop. I've never had to buy a computer, so I did buy one. Keyboard's a little different, so I'm struggling with that. And then they tell my email, I changed it to like john.mcclainNFL@gmail instead of cron.com, and that's about to go off too. So I've been scrambling, working on my mailbag, my story, trying to reply to people, and doing my regular talk shows.
So wait, the Chronicle didn't let you keep your damn computer after all these years?
No, Hearst won't let them. I told him, I said, you think for 47 years, no go watch is fine, but I'd like to keep my laptop. And they said Hearst doesn't allow it. So I went out and bought one just like it and made sure the screen was a couple inches bigger since I wouldn't have to travel every week. The weight is not as important. Plus, I'm sure my eyes will get worse. So I have a bigger Dell computer that I'm trying to learn. And when I put my hands on the keyboard, every key I hit right now is something else. But I'll get used to it.
No doubt about it. John, first of all, congratulations. I tell you what, it's
thank you.
It's just an honor to be able to speak to you. I've read your stuff for many, many years, and it's incredible. And being able to talk to you, over the last few months has been an honor. I not to your level, certainly, but I just went through the whole thing. You decide you want to retire from something you've been doing a long time. What went through your mind? I mean, and just what was the process like deciding that this was it?
I worked at the Waco Tribune Herald almost 4 years while I was going to Baylor, and I graduated in May of 75. And in October of 76, I came to the Chronicle to cover the original Houston Aeros hockey team with Gordie Howe. Mr. Hockey had come out of retirement with the Detroit Red Wings to play with his sons, Mark and Marty Howe. And that story transcended hockey and sports. It was huge in news and sports. And when I came in here learning hockey from Gordie Howe's like learning the Bible from Jesus, traveling around 2 countries. I'd only been on one plane in my life, going from Waco to Odessa on a puddle hopper that was so small it had a horn to keep birds from crashing into it. People don't believe me, but that was the truth. And then my second day here, I covered a hockey game, and a guy in our office went into the Houston Public Library, found it, and tweeted it. The first story I wrote for the Chronicle, a 4-4 tie with the New England Whalers on October 20th, 1976. And the next day, I was traveling across 2 countries. I didn't know you couldn't sign for room service. I thought you had a frontage road in Houston. And then one time we're in the bus going to arena, and I told the players, look, they got a frontage road up here too, and one of them called me a hayseed from Waco. And but I wouldn't give back those moments for anything. In 1977, I went to my first Oilers training camp, and I've got Sunday story about Gordie Howe, about Bum Phillips, my first experience with Bum. I've got ones about George Hallis, Joel Bushbaum, spending a night with Sammy Baugh at his ranch in West Texas, Bill Vett, the late Cubs Cleveland owner, and a lot of great football stories along the way that I did. And one the Chronicle has run every year at Father's Day online that I wrote originally after my dad died in 2007, what it was like growing up in Waco and how I became such a diehard sports fan because of my dad. And that ran in 2007. The Chronicle's run it online every Father's Day ever since. Just like every draft, they run my story with the late, great Joel Bushbaum, the greatest draftnik ever. And when I went to Brooklyn, I was the only person that ever went to Brooklyn and spent time with him in his apartment on Flatbush Avenue. And when he told me he lived on Flatbush, I said, how do you spell that, Flatbush? Flatbush. I said, Flatbush, where Ebbets Field used to be. Yeah, Flatbush.
John McClain joining us here on the Blitz announced his retirement after 47 years with the Houston Chronicle today. John, all those years of sweating in places we didn't know we had watching the Texans go through training camp, you would threaten, I don't know how many more years I'm going to do this. Why now?
Truthfully, I've been doing this so long, covering a beat. And when you're covering a beat, that's all it is, all day, every day. Before the internet, you could play golf in the morning, go to practice, get your interviews, go home, write your stories. Now you got to be 24/7. Used to be you write it or read it. Meaning if you don't write it, you're going to get scooped. And now it's tweet it or read it. So you got to be on call almost 24/7. So I gave up golf because guys I played with didn't like hearing my phone go off or me constantly checking it. And just going to the Texans every day and knowing they ain't going to have at least one more really bad year. And I just, and fighting the Galleria traffic every day to go over there. I haven't worked since I mowed grass in Waco before I came here. And what I do is not a job. Everybody would trade with us. I've been blessed, but sometimes you do something so long, you just need a change. That's one reason I love that my radio stations in San Antonio, Las Vegas, Nashville, Knoxville, Houston, and Waco were going to let me keep doing my weekly shows, and I never turned down any others. I've got all kinds of TV and radio lined up for the next few days, and a bunch of speaking engagements, and I'm still going to keep up with everything.
Sure.
Since I'm on the radio, I got to cover the Astros and the Texans, and I'm going to tweet about it and go to the games. And so it's not like I'm disappearing. At some point, I might just disappear. Carol and I just take off and go. We have a place on the Chesapeake Bay in Maryland and go up there and spend about 6 months in the summer. But right now, I'm not ready to walk away from everything.
Well, good. That's good news for everybody because we're happy to keep you here and going. Now, I'm going to put you to work, John, because there was a surprising story overnight with Bruce Arians announcing his retirement.
Yeah, he tried to steal your retirement thunder.
So what do you think happened there? What's the story?
Well, Bruce Willis already stole it, and that was yesterday when he retired. But he had to retire for health reasons. And somebody asked me, how do you feel John McClain retiring a day after the original John McClain? I said, no, I'm older than Bruce Willis. I was before John McClain. Before him, he was John McClain 1988. When
That's right.
We were at training camp with the Oilers, and Jerry Glanville was the head coach, and he gave them players off on a Saturday night, told them to be back Sunday for a team meeting. So we interviewed Glanville and said, well, what'd you do last night? He said, I went to a movie. He said, well, what'd you see? He said, I saw something I thought I'd never see in my life. And he hesitated, and everybody got quiet. What, Jerry? What? John McClane with guts. Well, Die Hard was not a famous movie because Bruce Willis was on the show Moonlighting with Sybil Shepherd. He was not a movie star. I think that was his first movie. And so it caught everybody by surprise that it was going to be so good. Nobody had any idea it would be legendary, played over and over during Christmas, and yet so many people said it was not a Christmas movie. People asked me, was it a Christmas movie? I said, hell yeah. The whole theme of the movie is about Christmas. So anyway, Glanville said that, and I got a big kick out of that. And Bruce Arians, I had heard about a month ago he might be out. And there are theories that Brady would only come back if he were gone. Now, he's denied that to the high heavens. They're keeping him on as a senior consultant. I wish I could get one of those so I could get paid to do nothing. Now I can do nothing but not get paid. And so I was happy for him. I mean, he's beaten cancer, but he won a Super Bowl. But there's going to be a lot of people say we'll never know if his departure had something to do with Brady's return. And he said it was because he had a succession plan with Todd Bowles. Well, hell, they could have named Todd Bowles after the season. He could have retired a day after. So we're never going to know for sure. But it's a great opportunity for Bowles, and Bruce Arians, BA as they call him, is going to get paid a lot of money to do nothing.
Absolutely. So is John McClane, our good friend, who has announced his
that big check you've been sending me every month, Jason, all these years.
You get that envelope with nothing in it, don't you?
I wasn't going to say that.
Well, I mean, you have never asked us for $1. This station is 14 years old.
Never would.
And all I remember when you first wanted to do this, it was like, are you sure? I mean, we don't have a budget to pay you. I mean, we were just starting and we still don't pay regular guests. And it was just like, no, man, I want to come on. And it's been a wonderful relationship and learning experience all these years, 12, 13 years, but we don't pay you. And so, you get an envelope full of nothing. And I keep promising when you're in San Antonio, I'll buy you dinner, but you don't come. Or when you are here, you don't let me know.
Well, I've just wondered why you can't keep a partner.
Well,
I'm learning that, John, very quickly.
See, the first one didn't work out for, whatever reason. The second one decided to go print money with Chick-fil-A, and Rob decided he wants to get up at 3:30 in the morning, and so he hired Reinagel.
Joe, think about that. Rob Thompson would rather get up at 3:30 in the morning than work with Jason Minix.
Well, the option really was one of us was going to move to mornings as we were going to launch a morning show, and I'm not waking up at 3:30 in the morning.
John, unfortunately, I've known Jason for about 35 years, and so if he hadn't run me off yet, I guess I'm here to stay.
Well, it's always a pleasure and an honor to be on with you guys. I appreciate you having me on there. Some of the greatest summers I ever spent with training camps with the Oilers at Trinity in San Antonio, where I had such an incredible time. Back then, training camp was like 5-6 weeks, not like it is now. And I had a blast. Stayed in the old Marriott on the Riverwalk with a double balcony, got Marriott points during all that time.
Yep.
And loved to go to Trinity and hang out there, play golf free anywhere I wanted, and it was tremendous.
It was fantastic. And John, what I appreciate in this business, you went out on your own terms, and that's what matters. Congratulations on your retirement. I'm thrilled that you still want to come on with us every week.
Thank you guys very much. I'm thrilled that you're going to have me, and I look forward to talking to you next week.
Thanks, John.
Make sure you follow John on Twitter at McClane_on_NFL. The legend, John McClane. And
one of a kind.
He is, and it's a treat that he does this, as we mentioned, for nothing. We don't pay him for that. And the amount of people that tell me every week, I love it when you guys have John McClain on. And I know when he called me the other day and said he was retiring, your first spot was, is he still going to come on? Because we're selfish that way.
Well, we are selfish that way because he's a great guest. And what I love about him is he going to tell you what he thinks, whether you like it or not. And that's the kind of guy, I miss those kind of guys. There's no political correctness there. It is what it is, and he's going to present it as such.
And
so
you're almost old enough to be that guy. You're getting there.
I try to be. I'm more unpolitically correct now that I'm back on radio than I was on TV. There's a little more leeway there. So.
Absolutely there is. It's the Blitz. We're live out here at the Valero Texas Open as the opening round goes. And as we do every Thursday, What's on Tap brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint. Coming up next, if you've got an event this weekend, you want us to talk about a gig, you're in a band, you want us to tell people to go see you, tweet us at Joe Reinagel 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. And if you're going to fire up the grill this weekend, you want to, excuse me, get choked up thinking about how great kielbasa sausage is, because, things that are very important to you can tend to choke you up, and having the best quality is that. Kielbasa Smoked Meats, great local San Antonio company, has been since 1949. They got the best sausage, and you think about your weekend breakfast. For that big weekend breakfast spread, get in and get yourself those Kielbasa Smoked Meats maple breakfast links that are available at select H-E-B stores. If you haven't tried these maple breakfast links, you are missing out. Little sweet, little savory, totally delicious. Great for that weekend breakfast spread, but they come fully cooked, so all you have to do during the week is heat them up, and you've got a fantastic breakfast on the go before you head to work or take the kiddos to school. Make sure you get some Kielbasa maple breakfast links at select H-E-B stores.
This is the greatest stage for all of sports. March Madness is upon us. The big dance. We've got you covered. That's why we keep you up to date with the latest from the tournament. Are you ready for the madness? San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
We got the Final Four coming up this weekend, Saturday and Monday. There's going to be a lot of excitement with that. We're out here at the golf tournament as well. And, sometimes it's just a little more fun to watch those things when you got a little something on the line. And I've got the place for you, a little place called BUSR.com. Yeah, BUSR.com. You get everything there. Of course, a sports book. You can bet on any kind of sports you can imagine, and all kinds of different ways, parlays and prop bets and all of that stuff. It's all right there. But they're also a casino where you can go in and play blackjack for real, roulette for real, and over 200 other casino games. And, if you like betting the ponies, you can do that there as well. It's BUSR.com. Now, here's the best part about it all. You go in, you sign up. Takes about 5 minutes or so to sign up, not that long. Put in a deposit, whatever that may be, and they're going to match it 100%. And that is exclusive for Sports Star listeners. So all you do is go to BUSR.com/SportsStar. Again, that's BUSR.com/SportsStar. You want to get in the game? You need BUSR.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cashback Match. Now to recap and say cashback one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish
is pretty bad.
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind. Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
No matter your learning style or experience level, Babbel has lessons designed for you that will get you speaking quickly and confidently.
I tried learning Spanish before, but I couldn't stick with it until I found Babbel.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said, now we speak Spanish.
I can't wait to use our new language skills on our upcoming adventures.
Babbel, language for life, celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com, Babbel.com.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked, classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
It's Major League Baseball, and it's back. April 7th is opening day. Catch every hit.
A 3-run Jimmy Jack.
Every pitch.
Swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the mid of Trevino.
Diamond action happens on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
It's Rob Thompson. Join Rudy J and I tomorrow morning from 7 till 10 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Rob and Rudy will be out here tomorrow at the Valero Texas Open, bright and early, 7 a.m.
Yes.
We'll be back out here tomorrow from 4 to 7.
Weather's a lot better in the afternoon, I think, than it is in the morning.
I'm impressed that Rob, A, went back to his car to get his jacket.
That's a long way.
Well, that tells you how cold it was.
Yeah.
But 2, he still has his jacket hanging out in his car. Which I find interesting. You know what we do at this time every Thursday?
The Blitz wants you to know what's on tap. Brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint.
It is time for What's on Tap, brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint. James Pledger puts this list together. If you're not on there, it's your fault because you can tweet us at Joe Reinagle 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix, and we will plug your event this weekend. And it's going to be a busy weekend at Sam's Burger Joint. Friday night, they've got the Wilder Blue. On Saturday, a Stevie Ray Vaughan tribute band called Texas Flood. And if you're going to tribute Stevie Ray Vaughan, you better be badass.
Yeah.
And on Sunday, the Fiesta Blues Heritage Series starring Carolyn Wonderland. For a full lineup in their menu, go to samsburgerjoint.com.
Fun place to go, no doubt. You're looking for something to do tonight? How about the Tobin Center? You got Jen Fulweiler. Minivan Fabulous. It sounds fabulous. Aztec Theater has Surfaces. LOL Comedy Club has John Carden performing there tonight. Green Hall. How about a trip to Green Hall on a Thursday night? Lance Lipinski. Alamo Dome has Fiesta Carnival. The carnival's there. That's a good thing to do.
Fiesta time.
Yeah, and then the Rock Box. You were just there not too long ago.
Tuesday.
Nimesh Patel.
Yeah, Rock Box is a great place to go watch games. And, of course, here at the Valero Texas Open, not only fireworks tonight, but the Spasmatics will be playing. What should be a fun show tomorrow night at the Majestic Theater. 311 is playing their Spring Tour 2022. At the McCombs Empire Theater, Steve-O, the Bucket List Tour. Eric Griffin is playing at LOL Comedy Club. Green Hall has Mickey and the Motor Cars. Floors has Hayes Carl. And the Spurs and Trailblazers playing out at the AT&T Center.
All right. You also got the Carnival's going to continue on at the Alamo Dome.
Let me flip the page, too.
That's right.
Fiesta stuff continuing. It's Alamo Heights night on Friday night. The Aztec Theater has Web Party 2022? I have no idea. Night of the Zodiac seems like something the Pledger would go to. And Together Panega is at Paper Tiger.
Yeah, was that Steve-O? Was that the guy from Jackass?
Yeah.
Okay, that's that guy, huh?
Yeah, that's where Pledger will be, too.
Well, that'll be wild. Hey, Saturday night, Green Hall, Blue Water, Hawaii with Grady Spencer and the
Can you read?
What?
Blue Water what?
What does it say? Blue Water Highway. What did I say?
Hawaii?
Hawaii? I was channeling Elvis. I got to put the eyes
there
on
you
it.
Go.
It does say highway.
It
How
does,
about that?
yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. The Majestic has Angela Aguiar in the Mexicana Enamorada. I think that's correct. Tobin Center has Fiesta Pops, LOL Comedy Club, Eric Griffin, and Texas Ski Ranch. That's cool. In between here in New Braunfels, Fat Gator Music Festival, and Fitzgerald's Bar has Rat and Roll, Rat Tribute, and is it Docket, whatever.
I don't know it.
Plus, you can come out here, too.
Right, so Rat and Roll. So a tribute to Rat.
Okay.
All right. And then Docket, which must be, or Docket Dockin must be a tribute to Dockin. Is Dockin at the level where there would be a tribute band?
I wouldn't think so.
I mean, Rats. I got like 3 or 4 songs that are coming to mind, but if they're going round and round with 3 songs all night, you better drink a whole lot of beer there at Fitzgerald.
No kidding. Hey, oh, by the way, on Saturday, you can come out here to the Valero Texas Open and see Jason Aldean and who else?
Darius Rucker.
Darius Rucker. Hootie.
Yeah.
It's not Hootie.
No, it's not Hootie.
Darius
it's
Rucker.
Darius
Sorry,
Rucker
yes.
that's going to be out there. And again, you won't be going to the AT&T Center for a concert on Saturday night.
No, you won't, because Eric
tickets
Church
were
wants to go to New
canceled.
Orleans.
On Sunday, Spurs and Trailblazers are playing. Green Hall has Sylvia and Matt Kirk. They're releasing a CD. I don't know who Sylvia is, or Sylvia and Matt Kirk, because there used to be an old-time country artist who went by Sylvia. Just Sylvia. Right?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, she sung a great song called Nobody. Also sang a great song called Jason. And she was gorgeous. I wonder if it's the same one. Did she get married to a guy named Matt? They're putting out a CD? Because I figure she's got to be about 70 about now.
I don't remember Sylvia, and I'm a country western fan.
Google her. It's the only reason I know her. And she sang a song about my name.
Okay.
And then Nobody. Whitney Cummings, the Touch Me Tour is at the Tobin Center.
Whoa.
Eric Griffin. It's the name of the tour.
Okay.
I mean, you know.
I'm just wondering what happens at the Tobin Center on Sunday night.
After Will Smith, they might need to rename that tour.
Well,
they might take that literal.
Touch and slap are 2 different things.
Yeah, very, very true. Although you could argue that in court. Eric Griffin's still at LOL Comedy Club. Telia is at the Vibes Event Center, and Vibes Underground has Power Glove and Immortal Guardian.
Outstanding. Monday night, really, there's only one thing to do. You got to head to Green Hall for Brett Graham.
You still got the Fiesta Carnival happening at the Dome. It's happening all.
There's that.
Yeah, I mean, that's going on. Tuesday, Austin Gillum is going to be at Green. The San Antonio Showcase at LOL Comedy Club. Corneation for Fiesta is happening at the Majestic on Tuesday. Hillsong United and Chris Tomlin are at the AT&T
Christian
Center.
bands, yeah.
Okay. And San Antonio FC, they got something. They're playing somebody at Toyota Field on Tuesday.
It's the Open Cup, apparently, right?
You go through spell check.
Well, Wednesday night, Green Hall, the Kevin Fox Band, the Majestic on Wednesday night, has the Fiesta Corneation, the Court of Magnificent Resilience. LOL Comedy Club, Daniel Sosa, and of course, that pesky Fiesta Carnival continues at the Alamo Dome.
Yeah, and of course, the Valero Texas Open happening all weekend, which is where we are now. Next Thursday, we're going to be live out at a Taste of the North Side. Good stuff. Coming up, we're going to give away tickets to a Taste of the North Side. You can dial in now, but we'll tell you what you're going to have to do to earn those tickets.
Easy stuff.
Coming up here on the Blitz. It won't be like pulling teeth.
Nah.
I can promise you that. It won't be. Although if you do need a tooth pulled or you need any kind of oral surgery, you need to go see Dr. Mark Havercorn over at River City Oral Surgery. Dr. Havercorn is an oral surgeon. He's a medical doctor who specializes in all types of oral surgery, including dental implants. And you think about if you're needing a dental implant, you're missing a tooth or teeth, and you're a little embarrassed when you smile, you could fix that embarrassment. But also that missing tooth or teeth, that could cause issues with your mouth. It affects the way you could use your mouth, and you could correct those issues with dental implants that look natural. They feel natural. They stay securely in place, and they're built to last a lifetime with proper care. And Dr. Havercorn is an expert at dental implants. In fact, he placed over 1,200 implants last year alone. And at River City Oral Surgery, they do things differently. In my mind, they do things a lot better because they won't take your insurance. They're a direct care practice. All their prices are listed right on the website, rivercityoms.com, and that's everything from start to finish, and you don't need a referral. Don't you hate it when you go somewhere and you know you need a specialist, but you have to go somewhere else first to get that referral? That's not happening with River City Oral Surgery. You just call them, make an appointment, you go see them. And their prices, don't you hate when you go in and you ask, well, doc, how much does that cost? I don't know. Because the insurance hadn't told them what it costs yet. You don't have to deal with any of that. At River City Oral Surgery, chances are, even if you have insurance, he's still going to be less expensive. And if you do have insurance, his staff will help you file a claim and maybe you get some of that money back. It's incredible. And again, those prices on the website, rivercityoms.com. That's everything start to finish. River City Oral Surgery. Call and make an appointment. Call 210-778-0002 and tell them Jason Minnick sent you. River City Oral Surgery, 210-778-0002 or online, rivercityoms.com.
Baseball season is back.
Dolis is running this time. The pitch is low, the throw is high, and he's in head first with a stolen base.
The hitters.
3-1. Seager swings, and it's a high fly ball to right field. That sends Merrifield back to the track looking up, and that one is out of here.
The pitchers.
The 2-2 delivery. Stroud came out swinging. A changeup again from Ohtani.
Major League Baseball. Catch the diamond action on San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Get ready, boxing fans. King Rai is here. Coming April 9th, live at the Alamo Dome. Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions presents the return of the undefeated King Rai, Ryan Garcia. He's a perfect 21-0 with thunder in both hands and 18 big knockouts. But a rugged Emmanuel Tuggo with 32 wins stands in his way. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. April 9th, the Alamo Dome. King Rai is here.
Dave Ramsey here. The only water softener I recommend is a quality water softener from Connecticut. It really is the last water softener you'll ever own.
ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
My name is Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for 50 years. I went to school here. I graduated from law school here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after a serious injury or a fatality collision for more than 27 years. If you're in your car right now, chances are you're seeing an attorney billboard, and you'll probably see 3 or more of those on your commute today. How do you decide who to call? Who to trust? I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. I'm experienced. I have a long track record of success, and I run my firm like my father did for over 50 years of practicing law here. I believe that a personal, trusting relationship with my client matters. With my firm, I meet with you. I answer your questions. I handle your case. For many lawyers you see on the billboard, your case will not be handled by the attorney on that billboard. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. If you or your family needs an experienced attorney you can trust, an attorney that will personally handle all of the issues after a serious injury or fatality, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, 900-0400, 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Golfers, swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the hottest new arrivals from Cobra, featuring the new LTDX drivers, engineered for the longest total distance with extreme forgiveness. Internal weights create the power core, and hot face technology delivers faster ball speed at every contact point. 4 drivers to fit every golfer's needs. Swing by Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Live, local, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN, AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. Joe Reinagle, Jason Minnick, The Blitz.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He is Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minnick. We are live on this glorious Thursday at the Valero Texas Open, TPC San Antonio here at the JW. It's fantastic. Turn on your microphone.
It is.
Wasn't
me that time.
Call a fumble on Greg Shelton.
That's all right.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Uh-huh.
It's all right.
You want to start the show over? The hour over?
Yeah, you want to? No, I'm good.
Edwin, can you hit the open again? I'm kidding. Edwin's looking at me like,
are you crazy?
How? No, I'm kidding.
No, it's glorious out here. I tell you what, as the sun starts to sink, the weather gets a little cooler. It's nice, fresh air. Not too many people out here. I guess they're kind of making their way over the other way where the Spasmatics will be later tonight fireworks show is going to happen out here later tonight as well. So it's been a great day. Jordan Spieth, by the way, the defending champ, just finished his round. He fires an even par round of 72. So he's 7 shots off the lead after round 1.
And tomorrow's round 2. Make sure you wake up with Rob and Rudy in the morning. And I've got to go hit the podcast, and you guys can do the same. Go to sasportstar.com, the audio vault powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, because I'm not sure what was going on this morning. I didn't hear this segment live, so it must have been before I woke up. But the podcast title is Porta Potty Etiquette. Rob and Rudy, as Fiesta nears its time to brush up on some things, and Pledger said Rudy's firing off shots. Now, I know the porta potties that are close to us here are very clean.
Very nice.
I know that's not always the case at Fiesta. They might start clean, but by the end of the night, they're anything but. But I'm curious what Rudy J's thoughts are on porta potty etiquette.
I have no clue.
Well, that's why I've got to go hit the audio vault powered by AA Best Bail Bonds so I can find out, because that is a very particular man when it comes to a toilet. And we know this. When you travel with people and you're staying with them, you learn things about them. And in Los Angeles at the Super Bowl, we were in a great Airbnb, and all of us had bathrooms in our bedrooms, with the exception of Rudy, because Rudy thought he was the badass by claiming the downstairs bedroom. There was 1 bedroom downstairs and 5 bedrooms upstairs. It was a great place. It was built for college kids at USC. So Rudy's bedroom downstairs at this house in LA, the bathroom was across the hall. Well, we spent a couple of nights drinking, and when you got to go pee, well, who wanted to walk upstairs?
Nobody.
And Rudy did not like people going in his bathroom. So I can only imagine what Rudy's porta potty etiquette might be.
Well, I have a feeling now that you brought that story, because he had one rule about his bathroom downstairs: no pooping.
Well,
so probably the same applies to a porta potty.
Well, that's everybody's rule.
Well, wait a second. Now, the porta potty I just came out of, that rule was not followed.
Oh.
No, because suffice it to say it was not followed.
There was a floater.
So, there's a lot more than one. So all I'm saying is you shouldn't.
People doubled up.
The good part about these porta potties, though, Jason, is they actually have urinals in them.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't have to pee in the pot.
Yes.
So that means you're not spraying all over the pot, where you got to clean it before you sit down.
Yeah.
Or maybe your thighs are just pretty good and you don't sit down and you're just doing squats.
Hovering. Females, God bless you.
So, oh, gosh.
And
so that's got to be part of the etiquette. No pooping.
It should be. Although, when nature calls, what are you going to do?
Well, you're not going to poop. You just
when nature calls, what are you going to do? I mean, you can only duck walk around the golf course for so long.
I don't know. Eventually, it goes away, doesn't it?
Not well. Yeah, in a porta potty, or down your leg.
Well,
I mean,
I don't know. Eventually, it kind of goes away.
I mean, you would like to think that somebody's holding it for as long as they possibly can, but at some point, if a turd is playing peekaboo with your underwear, you got to let it go.
Well, it depends on what you've eaten, right? I mean, it depends, and it depends if it's solid or liquid.
Now again, that's If you've got the runs, it's time to go home.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you're not going to be, even if you're running home, you're probably going to have to make a pit stop.
The JW Marriott's right there. Good luck.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well,
this conversation went a whole different direction than I anticipated.
Well,
Thanks, Joe.
You said porta potty etiquette. So I'm saying no pooping. That's rule one.
So really, the reaction is you've made 4 or 5 trips over to the.
I'm trying to drink a lot of water. I'm trying to hydrate myself.
Yeah. So but you've made a number of trips during commercial breaks over there. And we discussed earlier, do you go to the same one, or do you pick a different one every time? And you said I go to the same one, which I'm guessing other people have decided that was the one too. And you keep going to the same one, and now it's bit you in the ass because you had to see somebody else's poop.
Well, that wasn't exclusive to that one. I'm telling you, people do it all the time, and they're not following the number one rule of etiquette. So, and that is my downfall because I'm going in the first one.
Well, see, that's your problem.
There's a bank of 5 on this side and 5 on the other side, so I should probably go to the 5th one.
No, pick the middle because everybody else is picking either the first one they see or they want the last one. And I'd like to think if you're going to the last one, you're going to go number 2. Because you want to be as far away so as people are walking by, they don't hear any weird noises.
I don't think these people care. Because I think all of them have had a little something in there. And
I mean, maybe there's a generous person that left donations in every one.
Yeah, I think
because they had a bad lunch or breakfast.
It's
think
about like we were talking about the airport. Does that happen at a golf tournament? Maybe it's
well. I mean, Greg Shelton's been out here since 6 a.m. I mean, he's twice a day, whether he needs to or not, whether he's at a golf course or not.
Well, he didn't make a stop back at the station, though.
Yeah. He went all the way back there because he likes porcelain, not plastic.
Perhaps.
I mean,
the people at the station probably didn't appreciate it, but, he was happy.
I mean, it happens. Although, there's times I walk into that radio station bathroom and I wonder who the hell I work with.
I agree.
I mean,
yeah, there's some nasty folks.
We work with some, and then we work with other people, like Don Wayne Cooper Stevens.
Yeah,
who has been there for 1,000 years. Don, who produces the Jack Riccardi show, so he's on the air right now, so he can't hear me saying this. But Don walks around with a towel over his shoulder, like he's Jerry Tarkanian. It's a brown towel, and it's been a brown towel for as many years as I can remember, right? And he does that because he's a very clean person and an extremely clean person. But if the paper towels haven't been replaced in the bathroom, he doesn't want to take the 5-6 steps to the kitchen area and get a paper towel there or do like the rest of us and use your pants. Right? He wants to make sure that when he dries his hands, it's with his bath towel.
Well, and I don't blame him for that. That's cool. I don't know if I would carry a towel.
It's a little odd when you see somebody walking around with the towel over their shoulder, unless it's Tark or John Thompson.
And even that was
John Thompson used to carry a towel.
Look,
and Don Wayne Cooper Stevens.
There's a lot of paper towels. I'm in the break room there.
Yeah, Frank Mateo on our YouTube Live says it's a golf course. Go behind a tree and bring TP.
Under normal circumstances, I would agree with that, Frank, but there's a lot of people out here.
Yeah, you could do that if you're playing around with your buddies, not at a nationally televised golf course.
There's cameras everywhere, and there's a lot of people. And even on a Thursday today, there were a lot of people out here. They had a great crowd, so I'm happy for them. But obviously the porta potties got used quite a bit.
And I would rather go in a porta potty than in the woods out here at this golf course, because chances are you sneak around into a brushy area good enough to be able to hide yourself taking a dump in the woods, and you're going to get a rattlesnake bite in your ass.
Probably.
And I would rather poop in a porta potty than get bit by a rattlesnake in my ass.
Well, I wouldn't want to get bit by a rattlesnake anywhere, much less there. But
or anything else that might be dangling.
Yeah. There's squirrels too. Who knows?
And you know what they're going for?
Yeah.
It's the it's the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM, and Poison Ivy. Absolutely.
Well, that's the least of my worries after the rattlesnake and the squirrel. Chase Poison Ivy's no problem.
Yeah, you go with that. All right, let's give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. We do this every Thursday about this time.
Grilling with the Blitz, brought to you by Tri-County Meat Market.
It is time to give away that $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. If you've uploaded a photo at sasportstar.com of the meat on your grill, you've got a chance to win. And, man, a lot of entries this week. A lot of good stuff, including a whole hog or half a hog.
Yeah.
It was half a hog. If it was the whole hog, you would have won. The half a hog, you don't quite win it today.
I don't know. Again, we talked about that. I don't want to see a hog land on my plate.
Yeah, there you go. You're that guy.
But this is good.
Yeah, the winner is Daniel. He calls it Elite 8 Countdown to SA, and I appreciate how he works in Troy Aikman in here because he knows he's getting bonus points there. But he's got some burgers on his grill and some jalapeno wrapped in bacon, which is great, with some chicken breast in there, salt and pepper, and he's got some start, middle, and ending photos. It's fantastic. Daniel, you win yourself a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. And this weekend, as they celebrate their 10th anniversary, 20% off your entire purchase for everybody that goes into both locations. But on Saturday, the Fair Oaks location, lots of cooking demonstrations, free samples, all kinds of good stuff.
You know those samples are going to be fantastic out there. That's at the
Fair Oaks location.
Fair Oaks location. So that's going to be awesome out there. And yeah, if you got something looking for something to do, head out there.
Definitely. My boy Alonzo from Gulf Coast Smoke is going to be out there cooking. All right, let's see. Edwin, who all is held on as we try to give away these tickets to A Taste of the North Side?
Nelson's the only one that held on.
So Ronald dropped and Marquise dropped?
Yep. I guess they were turned off by the conversation you just had.
Why in the world would they be turned off, Ed, when I have no idea? That was entertaining radio.
Yeah, it was kind of a crappy topic. All right, you want to win tickets to A Taste of the North Side? Line up the phone lines right now, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 on those Kielbasa Bacon phone lines. Nelson, you get some bonus points because you've held on long enough and you have no idea how we're going to give these away. Now, what we have done in the last couple of days is we've had people give us stories on why they deserve those tickets. And first day, a lot of great stories, but they sounded like bad country songs. And that's not really what we're looking for. It's a fiesta event. We want, and look, if you're going through a rough time, you need a great event. I get it. But, yesterday, we were doing the same thing, but there were some very smart listeners that worked in a lot of our sponsors into their reasons as to why. And the sucking up is brilliant. So what we want to do today, how we are going to give away these Taste of the North Side tickets at 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Sucking up is encouraged. But give us your best story on why you need to earn these tickets while working our sponsors in to the stories.
That's brilliant. And I think you could do that. It kind of helps your story because, you can go from one sponsor to the next and kind of mix them all in and intertwine them. And I think that's brilliant.
Absolutely. Let's go to the phone lines. Edwin, are you ready? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. This creates a lot of work for Edwin back there at the studio. So if you're dialing in and it's ringing, don't hang up. He's working patiently. Let's go to Nelson. You've been holding on the longest, man. You're up first. What's up, Nelson?
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
All right, Nelson, tell us why you need and want and deserve these tickets to A Taste of the North Side. They're $125 each.
Yeah.
It's $250. It's all inclusive. It is my favorite fiesta event.
All right. Well, first, because again, I held on through all the poop stories, but also because it's my wife's birthday, and we want to go. We want to go to a barbecue, our favorite barbecue downtown. Also, and my back is a little tight from work, so I got to see Jason Garrett. I got a ticket. My daughter got a ticket, so I might talk to Jason Thompson. So we can get a good deal, as well as going to the meat market, man, so I could barbecue on this first Fiesta weekend. Got to hit up the Spurs. Got to get the Spurs game this weekend, and I just really would like to go to the Taste of the North Star, man. It's a great event supporting Brighton, the Brighton Center, and man, I'm just the person, man. I would really appreciate it. I'll be a hero to my wife, man.
All right, Nelson, we're going to put you on hold. Hang on, because you're first. You are what we call the clubhouse leader. So don't hang up, but you're on hold, unless, of course, we decide somebody else is taking your place as the clubhouse leader. Nelson did a good job. Mentioned barbecue place downtown, didn't say Pinkerton's. Mentioned meat market, but not Tri-County meat market. So good intention.
He did mention Jason Thompson.
He did mention Jason Thompson, a lawyer for us. All right, let's go to Kingsley. Kingsley, you're on the Blitz. What's up?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Hey, I really deserve these tickets. I'm sitting in traffic on 1604 going towards Shanefield, and I called your good friend at AA Best Bail Bonds because my wife got arrested last night. Hey, like you said, it happens to everybody at some point in time, but because I called them, I got her out just in time to make nights with me and do my dishes that I have done from all the good meat I ate from Tri-County Meat Market. And really, that's about it. I don't have to put all the sponsors in there. Those two enough or enough stress on my plate. I work at HEB 1604 in Blanco, so you guys need to show love over there one day. I love you guys.
You know what, Kingsley? That is my HEB, and you guys need to get in Graham Pinkerton's paint rib. You got his original barbecue sauce, but you don't have that rib paint in there yet. Kingsley, that was good, but not better than Nelson. Appreciate it. We'll see you at the HEB soon. Let's go to Mark on line 4. Mark, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
It's actually Botello.
I said Mark on line 4.
He dropped.
Oh, he dropped. Okay, let's go to Botello or Bateo. What's up, Bateo?
Hey, good afternoon. So the reason I deserve these tickets is, one, this is the second time I've tried, and I'm just passing the Twin Peaks right now by the Thompson Law Firm billboard. But the reason I do need them is because, one, I still want to save some money on that beer money for Fiesta. I do want to go check out Cheer Liquor this weekend, and I need to have a little bit of money to get me a 18-year-old Crown Royal. In addition to that,
at Texas Cheer Liquor, you meant?
Yeah. I definitely at Texas Cheer Liquor. Also, when I do drink my whiskey, I definitely need some Pinkertons, and I'm going to need some pork rinds as well. Some Southern recipe, actually. But
very nice. Southern recipe, small batches in the window.
I'll even drink me some Elite 8 beer this weekend as well to go with that. I am also going to want to watch the Rue Pub right before I go over to the Taste of the North Side, as I also go for my after party at Twin Peaks.
All right, Bateo,
that's
you
awesome.
are the clubhouse leader. Nelson, appreciate you playing along. Hang up on Nelson. Tell him thank you. Put Bateo on hold. He is our clubhouse leader.
Okay, there's one sponsor that I got to hear.
All right, well,
I have to.
Let's see if Wilson can do that. Wilson, you're on the Blitz. And again, there's a line open now that Nelson dropped. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 on the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines. Nelson, what's up, man?
Hello?
Hey, Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson, you're up.
You're up.
It's Wilson, not Nelson.
Wilson. Yeah, no, we hung up on Nelson. You're Nelson. You're Wilson.
No worries. So I'm on my way to Tri-County Meat Market, sitting here listening to Blitz, and I had to call in because my little sister was born here and has never been to a Fiesta event, and she's coming in from Phoenix tomorrow afternoon with my favorite nephew. And yeah, we just kind of like to take her to a Fiesta event. She's never been.
That's it?
That's it. I mean, you kind of sold it, the first one.
All right. Well, Wilson, appreciate the effort. Enjoy Fiesta with your little sister and your nephew. And you can buy tickets to a Taste of the North Side, and it's worth it. Take them out there, but you're not winning this pair. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Edwin, what do we got? We're good?
We're good. All lines are open.
So Bateo is our winner?
Bateo's the winner.
Bateo is our winner. Congratulations, Bateo. You win yourself some tickets to a Taste of the North Side. What sponsor were you waiting to hear?
I just want to hear Stevens Roofing.
I got you.
So next time, all right, if we do this again, which we might.
We will.
I want to hear Stevens Roofing. And if you don't mention Stevens Roofing, then nobody wins. How about that?
Oh, here we go. I tell you what, I mean, a lot of people mentioning the Rue Pub because they know there's no better place to go to watch a game than the Rue Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. If you're coming out to the Valero Texas Open, either before you get out here or maybe you're on your way home, stop at the Rue Pub because there's no better place to watch a game, and the food there is fantastic. So make sure you show up hungry. They've got the best, the biggest wings in town. About 15 different burgers on the menu, great salads, great appetizers, and that kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available when you need that late night meal. And of course, Brew Pub has a full bar. They got all the beers you want, including Elite 8. The game room has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole. Weekday happy hour from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, certainly great for late at night. The best place to watch a game, whether you're going on Saturday night for the semifinal games. And look, for that Duke, North Carolina game, I highly recommend go to the Brew Pub early so you can grab yourself a table. And then Monday for the national championship game, the Blitz is going to be live out at the Brew Pub from 4 to 7 as we get ready to watch North Carolina cut down the Nets. So this weekend and on Monday, we'll see you at the Brew.
Some gambling tips for your Final Four weekend. That's coming up right after the Sports Center update. Hey, the first round of the Valero Texas Open is in the books. Russell Knox, he is your leader at 7 under par. Great round this morning at 65. Some of the bigger names, all 7 shots back, including Rory McIlroy, Ricky Fowler, and Jordan Spieth. They have got some work to do as they come in here tomorrow. All right, San Antonio Spurs have fallen out of that 10th spot and back into the 11th spot. That means as of right now, they are out of the play-in tournament. The Lakers are that 10th seed right now, but they play in Utah tonight. The Spurs will return to action tomorrow night inside the AT&T Center against the Portland Trail Blazers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers Bruce Arians retires last night, a surprise move. I'm Joe Reinagle for San Antonio Sports Star.
After months of playing, college basketball has determined the top 4 teams, and the final 2 rounds will crown this year's champion. BetOnline.net is your #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. From all the latest odds, contests, and player props, you name it. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline.net is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action. BetOnline.net, where the game starts.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
Daughtry. The dearly beloved tour. The multi-platinum, multi-award winner returns May 16th, the Tobin Center. Daughtry. Reserve seats on sale now at Tobin Center box office and online at tobincenter.org. Daughtry, the dearly beloved tour.
Prescription products require an online physician consultation and are only available if the physician determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Dealing with ED is difficult enough, but the pressure of not satisfying your partner makes it even worse. ED can be tough on a relationship, but at HIMSS, you can contact a medical provider online and, if appropriate, get the prescription medication that treats ED at affordable prices. HIMSS ED medication has the same active ingredients as Viagra, but because it's generic, you pay 90% less. That's right, 90% less. A whole month's supply is just $30, and it's sent right to your home for free in discreet packaging. HIMSS offers the same medication you'd get from your doctor, but without the copay, expensive appointments, or awkward face-to-face conversations. And with HIMSS, every online visit is free, and your relationship right back on track. For a free online consultation, go to forhims.com/joy. That's forhims.com/joy for your free visit. forhims.com/joy.
At the United States Postal Service, we deliver with advanced technology and equipment so we can reach over 160 million addresses across the country. We're delivering for thinkers, doers, movers, shakers, groundbreakers, future makers, innovators, trailblazers, disruptors, streamers, dreamers. So no matter what business you're in, we'll always be delivering for you. USPS, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/delivering.
You're the one everyone looks to for answers. Come rain or shine, the job must get done, and you're the one who makes it happen. We get you, Jackie in Fresno, putting your employee safety first. And Manny in Chattanooga, whose local Granger team knows him by name. We're here for you and all the ones who get it done with 24/7 customer support and access to product specialists to help you find what you need. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When it comes to Twin Peaks beverages, they take things pretty seriously, which is why over the last few months they've been innovating, they've been creating, and they've created an elevated drink menu that is something for everyone. Their newest creations have already hit the bar. Get ready for additions like the Pink Whitney with Pink Lemonade Vodka by the Spittin' Chicklets Group, the Termana Silver, it's one of Dwayne Rock Johnson's premium tequilas. Cheers! Twins! Eats are fantastic. Drinks, they're icy cold. And oh, those scenic views.
The play is in. The Blitz with Joe Reinagel and Jason Minix. ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Star ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. We're live out at the Valero Texas Open. Day one of the Valero Texas Open. And you could tell the wind had an effect on the scores from who went off in the morning and those that played in the afternoon. A lot of even scores in the afternoon. Our buddy Jimmy Walker, he's +6.
Oh,
for a defending champion.
Yeah, he's had a rough time.
Yeah, he had a rough time. Rory McIlroy is even. Ricky Fowler is even. Jordan Spieth is even. Russell Knox, your first-round leader, at 7 under. As we're out here at the Valero Texas Open, and we'll be back out here tomorrow as well from 4 to 7, all eyes really on New Orleans for the NCAA tournament. And I know you can put a little scratch on the golf, and obviously next week with the Masters of Tigers playing, but let's talk Final Four. Drew Locke from BUSR.com joining us now. Drew, how's your Thursday?
Oh, it's going great, guys. How you guys doing today?
We're doing well. Drew White from BUSR.com as he joins us every Thursday. And again, go to BUSR.com/SportsStar for a 100% deposit match. You look at this Final Four, nobody really expected Duke to get there. What are the odds that Coach K cuts down the nets as he heads off into retirement?
Wow. So we've been talking about this since the week before March Madness, if you guys remember. And the love for Coach K and Duke, it's almost been preordained here. And I want to give you guys some info here. It looks like he's going to make it. It looks like he's a 4-point favorite against UNC. This is a classic Tobacco Road showdown, and this is for all the marbles. Now, the line dictates that. It's letting you know right now that all the money's coming in on Duke. And my goodness, if you remember, I told you guys last couple of weeks we're long on Tennessee. We now got inundated on Duke and Coach K. Like we keep moving that line virtually every couple of hours because people think it's a lock that Duke is going to beat North Carolina and most likely play Kansas in the title game. It's one of these games. Just want to let you know that it's almost too good to be true. If you get my point, with the outpouring of money on Duke, it's almost as if people think the result has already been known.
It is kind of a heart bet, I guess. I've heard that term before where you're almost betting with your heart instead of your head. But you look back, Drew, and you look at, North Carolina's already beaten Duke once in a game that, mattered really because it was a big ceremony for Coach K. So it's hard to believe that North Carolina could go in and beat these guys again. I mean, and I just see it that way, that I think Duke wins this game going away.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I really do. And all the money, all the numbers are saying the same thing. I just can't visualize Coach K not cutting these nets down, going to the title game again. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but let's be real. Like if you go to NFL, like Tom Brady, all those crazy years he's had, it's almost as if even when he went to Tampa, you're like, can he really do this? And sure enough, he did. It's the same thing with Coach K. I don't see the Tar Heels. I will give you my numbers. I've been pretty good, not the best last week, but I've got Duke again, double digits here. I really do. I think it's going to be a blowout.
And I'm just stubborn, Drew. Because I had Kentucky winning the whole thing in my original bracket. So, like all good sports talk show hosts, we did a re-bracket after that first weekend, and I picked North Carolina to win the whole thing. And I'm sticking with that, even though my gut is telling me don't do that. Now, I might stick with it, but if I'm laying my own money on that, it's hard to bet against the basketball gods, and the basketball gods say Coach K.
Exactly. And look, that's a great point. And I love what you said, because also think about this. Now, sports are sports, but there are some hometown calls, if you get my point, that could go certain teams' direction. And this may be one of those games.
Drew, everybody forgets that there's another game this weekend.
There is?
Villanova and Kansas.
Oh.
Yeah, nobody's talking about that game. And I know you mentioned, and I'm not sure what the number is. You can help us with that. I'm just not sold on Kansas. They always seem to break my heart every time I think they're the team. And I love the way this Villanova team is playing. And in our re-bracket, Drew, I picked Villanova to win the whole thing. So obviously, I've got a dog in the hunt there. So I want the Wildcats to beat Kansas. What is the line first and foremost, and what are you seeing on that ball game?
Sure, we've got the Jayhawks -4.5, and the total's 133. Very low total there. The Jayhawks, even the Kansas Basketball Nation, have not really supported them this year as in years past, because this isn't the sexiest Kansas team. However, here they are in the Final Four. I personally give the coaching edge all the way to Villanova. I don't think it's close. Having said that, Nova, they do deserve to be the 4.5-point dog, the way I'm looking at it. And I have to say it. I think it's rock chalk Jayhawk. I think they're gonna take this one pretty easily too.
Drew, how much is that? And I was at the game here in San Antonio last Saturday when Villanova beat Houston, because Houston couldn't shoot. I mean, 1 of 20 from 3-point range, which is ridiculous. But towards the end of the game, dude from Villanova blew out his Achilles. How much of that injury is playing into the being a 4.5 dog for Nova?
Absolutely huge. This game, I can't say he's worth 1.5 points, because no college player is worth that, but this is easily a point move, because it deflates the whole team. The team is now scrambling, and they're trying to figure out how to replace him, and the line dictates exactly that this is, if he were healthy, I could see this being Kansas -3, maybe 3.5, but it's certainly priced into the line.
So, Drew, you look at it, obviously, you guys from BUSR standpoint, you've got Kansas taking on Duke in the final game on Monday night. I would assume that Duke would be favored in that ball game. Probably not as – I mean, is there an early line? Do y'all have stuff like that, or do you have a premonition of what that may be?
Yes, I priced them. I priced all 4 matchups out for you real quick, and I'll let you know. I'll end with that one. If it's Kansas, North Carolina, Kansas, this is what I made, by the way. I've got Kansas -4, 152. If it's Kansas Nova, it's Kansas 4.5, 146. Wait, sorry, I had that team wrong. And sorry, if it's Duke Nova, it's Duke -4, 144.5. But to get to yours, it would be Duke -1 and 146.5.
Wow, so basically an even ball game going in.
Yes, but keep in mind, as lines makers and odds makers, we already know that there's going to be a monstrous amount of money coming in on Coach K and Duke. So that's just I always project the line, same thing with NFL and every other sport when it winds down to potential lines. And again, just from looking at the money coming in, we're getting hammered on Duke. So you have to make them the favorite. And actually, the more I think about it, that may even be a little bit light. Maybe it could be closer to 1.5 or 2.
Going to be interesting to see what happens. Now, there is some basketball tonight that a lot of our listeners might care about, maybe a little surprised. In the tournament nobody gives a damn about unless you're in the title game, Texas A&M and Xavier currently tied at 26 with about 4:30 to play in the first half. And the way A&M has been playing, I'm surprised this game is this close. But if I want to get some second half action on the game, how would you look at that one?
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. We have live betting, and I'm looking at, I believe the score's tied up at 26 each. Yeah, the line is removed right now, but it refreshes. They must be, because I'm not watching it, they must be on a timeout or something. But we have live betting, so you could come into that anytime during the game, and you can bet the game while it's being played. But for the halftime, like I said, I don't know what the score is. I'm now looking at here you go. In-game live betting right now, we've got Texas A&M -4.5. And the total's 142. And the score I'm looking at, by the way, is A&M is winning 28-26.
Okay, yeah. So Drew, when you talk about live betting, and I can bet A&M -4.5 now, is that from this point moving forward, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's from right now, exactly. So again, I'm looking at it. It's still 28-26, and I've now got A&M -4.5. It's from this point. It's from the end of the game. So now something must have just happened. Yeah, no, it's incredible because let me tell you this: people in the U.S. market, they're not accustomed to live betting. They're still old school, and what they do is they bet the game of the first half or the second half, and that's it. But with live betting, they can bet. You come home from work a little bit late, you can get down on the game while it's being played, like while you're watching it on TV. So another one like this line, something must have just happened because I'm looking at now A&M is -5.5. And to clarify that, guys, sorry, the line, whatever that is, that's whatever the final score is. In this case, A&M's got to win by 6 or more.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. Go to busr.com/sportsstar. Get a 100% deposit match at busr.com. You can get in on the tournament nobody cares about. A&M, the 1 seed, playing the 2 seed Xavier in the NIT championship game. Maybe Buzz gets to cut down a net later tonight. Drew White from BUSR, busr.com. Always appreciate the insight, my friend. We'll talk next week.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great one.
Thanks, Drew.
Drew White, busr.com again /sportstar, and you get that deposit match, which is fantastic.
I love that live betting idea. That's a good way to lose a lot of money, right?
or win.
Boy, yeah, that's awesome because you can just go in or win a lot of money. You're right. Yeah. I like your glass half full analogy there. That was interesting. But, to go in right now and like you said, you're late for work, you come home and you want to go and you go to busr.com, you fill out all your information, put in a deposit, and guess what? You can go and make that bet, live betting, or you can wait till the second half. Doesn't matter. But either way, you got to go to busr.com because they've got everything there, a casino, a race book, and, of course, a sports book. And with all the action coming up this weekend, why not? Get in there, sign up. You're going to get a 100% deposit bonus. By the way, that's exclusive for Sports Star listeners. So get in on the action. All you do is go to busr.com/sportstar, busr.com/sportstar. You want to be in the game? Well, you got to go BUSR.
The NCAA tournament started with 68 teams.
You can feel the madness!
After a handful of upsets and some buzzer beaters, we've landed here. The Final Four in the Big Easy and a national championship game happens here. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Taste of the Northside is back and at a new location. Join us Thursday, April 7th from 6:30 to 11:30 at the Dominion Country Club. Hosted by Brighton Center and presented by HEB. This Fiesta event for foodies is one inclusive ticket price that includes parking, entry, live entertainment, and unlimited food tastings for $125. Purchase tickets at tasteofthenorthside.org. Proceeds benefit Brighton Center, providing an educational and developmental foundation for children with disabilities and delays.
Zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Dashboard light problems? We can help. Our free Fix Finder service can read your check engine light, ABS light, and service indicator light, and give you possible solutions, verified by licensed technicians. You'll even get detailed results sent straight to your email so you have them when you need it most. It's the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes. The free Fix Finder service, only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
More details at AutoZone.com.
To you, my love, my heart I surrender just as soon as I deal with yonder fender bender. Cause my ice cream truck is the way I make cash. So I'll buy you a ring when I lose this dress rash.
Owning a small business isn't always as lovely as it sounds, but at least Progressive Commercial saves you money with personalized discounts. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
I'm gonna make you so happy. Sometime next year, I hope.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions apply.
You can talk low carb all you want, but if you don't have a lineup of great tasting snacks behind you, you're not going to win the keto game. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds are high protein and low carb. Plus, they're low sugar, gluten-free, and naturally loaded in collagen. So it is a no-brainer. Get the bold flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB and online at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
The most up-to-date tournament scores and news. We've got it for you, because we all get the madness in March. Listen for the latest. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Hey, this is Michael Jimenez. Have lunch with me on Halftime tomorrow at noon. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
time for us to talk?
I don't know. I'm kind of digging that music.
That's Metallica, baby. It's the Blitz here on San Antonio
no
Sports
wonder
Star.
You've seen him 35 times.
23,
Okay.
ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. We're out here at the Valero, Texas Open. And, we had walked out of our tent on the driving range. And if it was there earlier, I didn't see it, but I saw them building some stuff. But the stage for Jason Aldean on Saturday night looks pretty impressive.
It looks incredible. And you know what's cool about that? It's at the end of the driving range here at TPC San Antonio. And they were telling us today, obviously there's going to be chairs set up too, but it's a deal where you can come out and bring your blankets, sit on the ground, and just kind of chill and watch some great music.
And the video walls, which aren't done yet, but you can see where they're going to build them. You go to enough shows, those are going to be the video walls. But it's not. You go to any kind of music festival, any kind of outdoor staging, and you see the setup. That's what they're doing here.
Yeah.
This is setting up to be the big-time show that you would expect from Jason Aldean.
Yeah, no doubt. It's going to be a lot of fun out here on Saturday. Watch golf all day. You can go out there and chill and get some good country music. Jason Aldean, although, a lot of people – country music has evolved over the years, obviously. Yeah. And a guy like Jason Aldean – does some traditional type country, but he also is more of the what do you call that? Rockabilly kind of
rockabilly or
pop country, something like that. So he's got it all. But I enjoy Jason Aldean. I listen to him, and I think he's good. And ought to be a great concert out here on Saturday.
Yeah, Jarius Rucker and Jason Aldean. I just went to my world clock, and for some reason, my clock thinks I'm in Macon, Georgia, and it's giving me East Coast time. Now, it's a new computer. I think it's the first time I've actually gone to this thing.
Yeah.
But why am I getting East Coast time?
Well,
Doesn't it know where I am?
Well, apparently not, because, I got my computer from Portland, and everything's on West Coast time.
That is, but my clock is there, but I go the world clock so that I get the seconds, because, we're out at the second. And then I see Macon, of all places.
Macon, Georgia.
Macon, Georgia.
Macon, bacon.
Now, well, see, and that's what's interesting, though, is, if you just saw Macon, would you know where it is?
Would I know where it is?
Yeah. Have you heard of Macon, Georgia before?
I've heard of it. Well, because of that minor league team. They're famous.
Yeah,
Macon,
the Macon
Bacon.
No, it's the Macon Whoopie.
Oh, I thought it was Macon Bacon.
No, the name of the team was the Macon Whoopie. And when I was working for the San Antonio Iguanas, we would play in Macon, Georgia, against the Macon Whoopie, which, by the way, their logo was a leaf. And apparently, I don't know, it was the whole design of it had something to do with the leaf, and that's where the name, the Whoopie, came from. But that is the only press box I've been in my entire life where they served whiskey.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow. Now, Macon, where is it in relation to, say, Atlanta or one of those?
Close. I don't know.
You have no clue.
I mean, it's when you get on a bus and you just go until it gets there. And the thing is, when you're traveling with a minor league hockey team, you don't fall asleep on the bus.
No, I guess not.
You wake up without an eyebrow. Bad things tend to happen to you if you fall asleep on the bus.
I'm sure.
It's you drink a lot of Crown on that bus, because those Canadian boys, they drink a lot of Crown.
I bet they do.
They drink a lot of Crown. But yeah, Macon, Georgia.
Macon, Georgia.
That was always a good trip. Wichita, Kansas was the trip that sucked, because it always seemed that we would play in Oklahoma City one night, the next night in Tulsa, and then you would end up in Wichita, Kansas. And our bus driver, Leroy, used to tell the joke as we were driving into Wichita, Kansas, that it's the only place you can watch your dog run away for 3 weeks, because it is so flat.
That really had to suck.
Yeah.
Staying on a bus and doing all that.
I mean, 10, 12 hours, get to the next city, check into, a Holiday Inn or a Comfort Suites and, 2 a.m.
What the hell do you do the whole time? I mean, they didn't have cell phones back then.
No, this was 95. This was before cell phones.
What'd you do?
Listen to music.
That's it.
Your old CD players that you would take with you. I don't even think we had iPods at that point.
Wow.
Read.
Dude, that would suck.
The lost art of reading. But yeah, I mean, it didn't suck. I don't know that I could do it now, but at the time I was 20.
Yeah, you're young dude.
24. Yeah. It didn't matter. I mean, I felt bad for guys like Tony Yaminsky.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, or Wayne Amon. I mean, those guys were retired ever. They were old. I mean, they were old guys then. You know.
That's funny.
But and you know what you don't do on that bus?
What?
Number 2.
No. It's just etiquette. You know, there's some places you just don't. And if you have to do that, maybe, I mean, can you ask the bus driver to pull over?
And he would.
Yeah.
He would. Might be the side of the road, but don't poop on the bus.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Well, there are just certain places you don't. Porta potties are another one.
We have really made Edwin Hafner, our producer, uncomfortable with today's conversation.
Well, that's okay. It's he'll get used to it.
No comment.
I think we've even made Greg Shelton a little uncomfortable at times, too.
Well, I mean, he's used to crap conversation. But, I mean, Edwin, I don't think has heard about poop this much in his life. I mean, I'm guessing at the Hafner household, that's just something you don't discuss.
Is that true, Edwin?
That's true.
That's true. So you don't discuss poop.
I mean, you just know somebody grabs their phone and they go off to a little room, you know they're going to be a while. But you don't talk about it.
You don't talk about it. Well, I don't know because, you know, honestly, you get more knowledge. And so don't you want to share that knowledge when you come out? It's like, hey, I was sitting in the bathroom and you'll never guess what I read.
You know, I for a long time had a rule about no phones in the bathroom.
Why?
Well, because I don't want to be in the bathroom on my phone and then at some point that phone is going up near my face. But I am a daily screen cleaner on my phone. But yeah, I've kind of broken that rule and I've changed up, but not in public. Well, I rarely will go any like that. And
that's a great conversation. If people are walking through this tent
looking at
what the hell are those guys talking about?
Well, it's a sport.
Yes, it is.
It's a sport.
No doubt. You know, phones ruined the magazine business.
Well, they did.
They really did.
They did. But in some cases, things are better now that they're available on your phone.
True, I guess. But I mean, you know, it used to be you'd have a stack of magazines in the bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah, you could tell based on the magazines in our bathroom, we stopped subscribing about 2 years ago. I mean, I go into one bathroom and there's still DeAndre Hopkins on the cover of a Sports Illustrated, which must have been the last one I ever got.
Dude, I don't keep magazines
and he was a
in
Texan.
the bathroom. You still do that?
In the guest bathroom.
In the
We're back tomorrow at 4. R&R starts at 7 from the Valero Texas Open.
Didn't catch R&R in the morning? Here's what you missed.
You're one of the others. It's like Android or Apple. You picked your team.